Good evening from the campus of Pinson Valley High School, where tonight our final regular season game plays out. It's the Indians of Pinson Valley hosting the Golden Gophers of Hueytown. Hello everyone and welcome to the Jeff Coed Game of the Week. I'm Chris Osborne. We're glad that you're here. We're about 20 minutes away from kickoff and we'll be with you through the kickoff and through the game. Let's talk about two different teams that have two different seasons. Take a look at this. The first time that we saw Hueytown was back during week 0. They lost that night to the powerhouse of the East, Clay Chalkville. But since then, while the Golden Gophers have struggled out of region, they have taken care of business in region, going 6-0. They'll host their first round playoff game next week. Pinson Valley, meanwhile, has had a difficult season. They beat Huffman the first week of September, and they haven't won since. They've had some close games, though, including that overtime thriller at Shades Valley we showed you right here on Jeff Coed TV. Here are both head coaches to talk about tonight's matchup.
Play a real tough non-region schedule. Wasn't able to win any of those games. Now we got another tough non-region coming up to finish it off. Actually, I've never coached a game at Pinson Valley. I've attended a few there, but kind of excited about going over there. I like going to new places. Yeah, super athletic. That's the first thing that jumps off the film to us that, you know, and we've been preaching, you know, faceless opponents. We have so many things still going into week 10 that we need to correct if we're going to have success in the playoffs. But have a lot of respect for that program and the tradition that it has. Promoting our programs, and I appreciate what Jeff Coed's doing with this TV broadcast. It's always nice to promote your program, your kids, and having access, you know, for them to have access to be seen by, you know, relatives that may not live in the area, so forth and so on.
I think we've grown a bunch since the spring. Of course, still not where we want to be. Still got a young team, and we're still starting, you know, 8 to 10, 9th and 10th graders on both sides of the ball. So hoping they'll gain valuable experience moving forward. Hueytown, man, a good football team. You look at them on film, those guys are big. They're getting ready for a postseason play. So, man, we're taking this game just like any other game. Now, our expectation is to go into the game and compete and try to win the football game. That won't change. That'll never change. But Hueytown's a good football team. They're very well coached, and we just got to try to go out and try to get it done. It's one more football game. It's at home, and it's versus a very good football team. And we're just still trying to make strides moving forward. So you tell those guys, and I think they'll give it everything they have. All right, our guys, we still got a good bunch of guys that's around here, so they'll give it everything that they have. I'm sure of that.
All right, we're about 15 minutes outside of the kickoff, and you'll see every play right here on Jeff Coed TV. But right now, let's go to the guys who'll be holding down the booth tonight, Scott and Caleb.
Thanks a lot, Chris. We're down here on the field as well, getting ready for Hueytown and Pinson Valley. Hueytown 6-0 in region play, as we've talked about. Pinson Valley comes in, they've struggled, only one win. They could have had two in one of our games. They played Shades Valley off their feet. They hope to duplicate that tonight.
Yeah, we saw both of these teams lose earlier in the season, right? So they're both trying to get a win with the camera here. But at the same time, obviously, Hueytown is trying to prepare for the postseason, and Pinson Valley is playing for pride. That's a big part of this on their home field for senior night. Don't tell them there's nothing to play for tonight.
Yeah, Pinson Valley's playing a lot of new guys as well after the performance they've had for the year. Hueytown, again, there are only 3 losses. Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa, who's 7A, as you know, Clay Chalkville, Mountain Brook. They should be toughened by that schedule.
Yeah, we were obviously there for that Clay Chalkville game. They had a bye week right after that, and the improvement that they saw just after that first week has been drastic. And this is a team that is familiar with the playoffs and familiar with making deep runs. This is their first region title since 2021 when they made that run to the Super 7. So I would expect this team is getting ready for the playoffs. They know what to expect, and they're ready because of that schedule.
Pinson Valley, meanwhile, in 5 of their losses, only scored a total of 50 points, but somehow 3 weeks ago, over 30 points against Mountain Brook. The next week, over 30 points as well. Last week, not so good. They need one of those performances to have a chance tonight.
Well, that's what's been interesting about them. They've had a tough schedule of their own, but when they play those tough games, they've obviously just hasn't been matched up well enough for those. Now, teams near the bottom of the region, they were scoring 30 points against Mountain Brook. They were competitive against Pell City, Shades Valley in that game. So, yeah, I think if they're not playing the elite of the elites, they could score points. Unfortunately, if anything's elite about Hueytown, it's their defense.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So let's take a look at some of the teams that are in the playoffs as far as Jefferson County school systems and such. And just tell me what jumps out at you. Obviously, Fultondale is out due to playing an ineligible player, but what else do you see?
Well, I think obviously the small letters you see up there on the screen, the 6A Region 5, third and fourth place still to be determined because of that three-way tiebreaker, all three of them being here in Jefferson County, Minor, Moormore, Jordan, and Gardendale. That's going to come down to non-region wins, and they all three have very difficult games tonight. If any of them can pull off an upset tonight, that'll probably springboard them into the playoffs. That's what I'm watching mostly. But then, of course, obviously Clay Chalkville jumps out because you just expect them to make a run in the playoffs, and it starts with that very first game against Gadsden City.
And don't forget about Pleasant Grove dropping down to 4As. We've talked about all year. They're a top 2 or 3 team offensively and defensively in the state. They're probably like the Clay Chalkville of that era. So we got a couple of teams for sure with strong state championship pedigree, if you will, to make runs. But who knows? That's why they play the playoffs. Let's go back to Chris on the field. Chris?
We're just moments away from kickoff, but we're going to take a quick break. But before we do, let's meet the Hueytown starting lineup.
Jabron Ellington, quarterback, senior. AJ Robinson, running back, junior.
Contreras Jackson, wide receiver, junior.
Kobe Coleman, junior, wide receiver.
Drady Foster, receiver, senior.
Davion Green, wide receiver, senior.
Gerald Owens, offensive line, senior. Brian Youngblood, offensive lineman, senior.
Brian Obando, offensive lineman, senior.
Gavin Penny, O-lineman, senior.
Gage Patrick, O-lineman, junior.
Jordan Jackson, defensive line, senior.
Donovan Moore, defensive tackle, sophomore.
Jaquan Rogers, defensive lineman, sophomore.
Alexander Scott, middle linebacker, senior.
Samson Stanley, middle linebacker, junior.
Taylor Simmons, middle linebacker, sophomore.
Amari Davis, outside linebacker, junior.
Ja'Cory Steele, defensive back, junior.
Khalil White, DB, senior.
Jaquarius Brooks, DB, senior.
Jeffrey Garrett, defensive back, junior.
Greg Patterson, head coach, go Gophers.
All right, back out here live in Pinson. The game of the week is just moments away. It's Pinson Valley taking on Hueytown. Let's meet the Indians starting lineup.
Jamison Green, quarterback, senior.
TJ Calhoun, running back, junior.
Jordan Lindo, running back, junior.
Corday Fuller, wide receiver, junior.
Marcus Thomas, receiver, junior.
Gabe Lindo, offensive line, senior.
Zion Perkins, right guard, sophomore.
Kaden Baker, offensive line, sophomore.
Jamarcus Maxwell, right tackle, sophomore.
Eric Long, O-line, junior.
Carlo Johnson, fullback, sophomore.
Jeremiah Hill, DN, sophomore.
Jalen Lewis, D-line, junior.
Jamarcus Thomas, defensive end, senior.
Leland Johnson, linebacker, sophomore. Myron Rhodes, linebacker, sophomore.
Roland Riley, DB, junior.
Caden Edwards, DB, junior.
Deshaun Young, DB, junior.
Clarence Dates, DB, junior.
James Thompson, head football coach, Pinson Valley High School. Raise your spirit, go Indians.
Well, we had a little bit of rain last night and a little bit today, but I don't think that's going to impact the game at all. The conditions here are favorable. It's a great fall evening, not too cold, not too hot. We're expecting a great game, but I've got to bring somebody in who has been the wind beneath my wings during this football season. This is my daughter. This is Olivia Osborne. Olivia has been field producing for Jeff Coed for a few games, and I couldn't do it without her. She is my worst and best critic. She will tell Dad exactly what I do right and what I do wrong. So Olivia, welcome.
Thank you.
She's a little shy. Guys, Scott and Caleb, have a great game. We'll see you guys on the sideline.
Now I know why he's gotten better. It's all evident now, right? Very good. Thank you, Chris, for that. And we got a lot of stuff going on here at the park and on the field, and hopefully we got a good football game. And again, we talked about, Caleb, that we've had good matchups this year, and for some reason, games turn into blowouts rather quickly. This one appears like it shouldn't be close, and I've got a feeling it'll probably be really competitive.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect. I mean, I think that's just kind of the last game of the regular season feel. You don't know what people are exactly playing for, what the energy is like. Obviously, Hueytown, has a 4-game winning streak, and that's normal for them at the end of regular seasons. We've seen that the past 3 years pretty much, where they start slow and go on a long winning streak to end the regular season. Pinson Valley, on the other hand, they haven't had a season like this in 15 years. This would be their first one-win season since 2009, which was also the last time that they missed the playoffs. So obviously they want to get some momentum. They're on their 4th coach in 4 seasons. They have to do something to change things up, figure it out, start heading in the right direction.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And hopefully Pinson Valley can score to make it a good game like they did, as we talked about in the pregame, in the last 3 weeks. Last week they did not score well, only 6 points. But the 2 previous ones, they scored 30 versus Mountain Brook and 39 versus Pell City, and that's 2 playoff teams. So if they can do that, as we talked about, I think we may have a football game here. And then when you look at Pinson Valley's size, let's take a look at these guys before we go down there. They're pretty big.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Hueytown's offense isn't incredible by any means. They don't blow people out with their offense. It's how they start on defense. So if Pinson Valley can win some field position, maybe get a takeover or 2, this could stay close.
All right, let's go down the field and hear the officials.
The lady is heads, tails, and heads. And you know what? I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Justin Johnston. This is Travis O'Neill, okay? What I want you to do right now is I want you to say it loud enough where he can hear it. Tell him what you want. Tails. He said tails. If I drop it, we'll do it again. It is tails. You want to toss, you want to defer? All right. Hueytown, as one to toss has elected to defer. That means you want to receive, correct? Yes, sir. All right, Pinson, I'm assuming you want to carry from the clock? All right, Pinson, I want you to get with Travis and face this way. Hueytown, come over here. Wait. They're deferred, so swap it, guys, swap it. Yeah, kicking from the clock.
They will defer to this. Hueytown will defer to the second half, as you hear there, and will kick left to right as you watch on the screen. So they win the toss, they defer. Usually good teams, especially playing on the road, do that. So not surprising.
Yeah, and with the way their defense is played, the struggles that Pinson Valley's offense has, I think if you're Hueytown, you're hoping you get a good kickoff, good coverage, pin them down, 25, 20, somewhere in there, and then don't allow a first down and all of a sudden take control of this game on the road from the start. When you have a team that's struggling, if Hueytown can jump out to an early lead, that's tough mentally to come back from when you are, sitting here and staring down a 1-8 record.
Now, in all honesty, this game means nothing for Hueytown. They can lose, it doesn't matter. They're region champs. They're going to get a first-round game at home. What, in your opinion, and obviously they don't want to lose, how do they attack this football game?
I think it's about controlling the game. You can come out, and you heard Coach Patterson talk about it, and we talked about it a little bit too, about how impressive their non-region schedule was, the number of great teams on there, and you think of Pinson Valley as one of those programs, just not the past couple of years. So I think Hueytown, if you're looking at what they need to do going into the playoffs, come out and control the game the way you're supposed to. Be the team that is going to the playoffs. Be the team that has won 6 playoff games over the past 3 years. Be the team that's a region title team. So come out and control the game from the start. I think that's what Coach Patterson's looking for.
Meanwhile, Pinson Valley is going to play a lot of new players. They can play loose and fast. Again, they're 1-8. Ironically, one of their closest losses, the closest loss, was a game we had here on Jeffco Ed TV against Shades Valley, where they played really good football most of that game and just kind of lost it at the end with some strange things happening. And Shades Valley's a pretty good football team, so they're capable. They're really better than their 1-8 team. 1-8 record.
They are, and that's what shows, those 4 losses that were by single digits are where it's like you think one of them would fall your way, and none of them did. So that's why they're sitting in the position they're in. But one thing, you mentioned some young guys, some newer guys. In that game that we saw Jamison Green play at quarterback. I was looking at stats from that last game earlier today, and we're looking at the depth chart that we just got today, and Rico Freeman is listed as the starting quarterback. So I'm interested in seeing how that looks, if both of them get used, or if it just completely changes the offense for a new look for the final game.
So we're ready to kick. Hueytown will be in the road white jerseys with the purple pants and the gold helmets, shiny like Notre Dame gold. Pinson Valley in the black helmets, black jerseys, and white pants. Jesus Sosa will kick it off for the Golden Gophers. There's a good look at DeMarcus Waldrop, but TJ Calhoun will get it, and he's running it back, and he doesn't get far at all. He's not even to the 30. They might mark him at the 28-yard line. We'll see where they mark it before he was knocked down, and it will be at the 28 officially, and that's where the Indians will begin their offensive series. Again, Rico Freeman is slated to start, and he is running out there. Jamison Green was the starter when they played against Shades Valley. But they played both, in all fairness.
Yeah, I don't want to be
like a
surprised
lot of schools
to
do.
see both tonight at some point, right?
Yeah. So Rico Freeman, number 13, is your quarterback in the familiar spread offense. Hands off, and that is Calhoun, who brought back the kick, and not much running inside there as getting up off the turf, Jaquarius Brooks coming up from his rover position. Among others, also Donovan Moore in there with that 3-4 for Hueytown, but they'll bring up an outside defensive end and a 2-point stance, as you see. So it's really a 4-man front.
Yeah, it all depends on situation for them. You'll see that outside linebacker drop more into pass coverage when needed, but a team that likes to run the ball and early second down.
So there is Freeman, throws it out to Calhoun. Not much happening there. Couple of more yards, but it'll be third down. Well, actually got 3. They gave him a little bit more than we thought. So third down and 5 here. They've got to get to the 38-yard line for the first down.
Yeah, speaking of that outside linebacker, I like that play call. You have to keep them honest. They can't come just rushing in off that edge with that little swing pass. They got to keep an eye out. Oh.
Football was dropped, and they've got to fall on it. That's probably a smart play there. 3rd and 5, and those are kind of things that make you 1-8 on the year in a key situation. Just a errant play there.
Yeah, not only, I mean, the snap certainly was low, and I'm not even sure it really ever got off the ground, but it didn't even look like Rico Freeman was ready for the snap either. I'm not sure most of the offense was.
I think the timing and
something was off from the start of that play.
And the accuracy of it, they were both messed up. So, yeah, they lose, what, about 23 yards? Is that right?
I had him down at 21, yeah.
Yeah, 21 yards. I'll go with yours. I was doing it off the top of my head. I was trying to figure out where they were. They've already moved the chains. So a long, big play. Not a bad kick, but certainly Hueytown's going to set up shop on the Pinson Valley side of things and then some. We'll see where they mark it out of bounds, and it looks like it's going to be at the 34-yard line. So the Golden Gophers come out, not that they need any help, but they're going to have it well inside Pinson Valley territory to start their offensive series with Jabron Ellington, who was pretty good against Clay Chalfa. They didn't score a lot of points, but he had some splash plays a little bit in that opening game we had here on Jeff Coed TV. He drops and wants to throw very first play. Off his back foot, throws it wide open. No one near in the zone coverage, and that is Quintrell Jackson, the junior, and he's to the 3. He's got all day.
Yeah, not only all day, but it looked
he's
like
wide open.
A deep zone coverage where you had 3 or 4 safeties dropping deep, but letting everyone come up underneath them, and I didn't really see anyone in the flats. They could have taken even more time to throw that ball probably.
Yeah. Easy touchdown for Hueytown as Ellington just grabs it and goes off left guard. So in a blink, Hueytown on top, 6-0 here, and that's what one errant snap can do, one big play, and there you go. We've got a touchdown.
Yeah, that's exactly why Hueytown deferred when they won the toss. Talk about, I mean, you trust your defense to get a stop early. Don't let them get any yards, and obviously the snap was maybe some fortune for Hueytown. But then once you get the ball back, take advantage of the good field position and go make something happen.
Jesus Sosa kicks it up, and it is good. So 7-0. Hueytown on top of Pinson Valley. All right, so Pinson Valley will try to get something going here on their next possession. They moved it fairly well on the first possession, but had the bad snap, and that's how quickly a good football team can take over in what you're talking about there. So within, 2 minutes and 15 seconds, basically, we've got a touchdown for the Golden Gophers. So Sosa will come on and kick it away again, and you'll have, again, back deep, Calhoun as well as Waldrop. There's Calhoun there, who had the earlier return.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to say before the bad snap happened was, if Pinson Valley's offense can do 2 or 3 yards, not get in third and massively long situations, they should be all right. Like you said, they moved the ball a couple of plays as well as they might need to at times, but you just can't have the big negative plays.
Calhoun got it at the 13, and that's going to be a nice return of 24 yards out to the 37 is where they'll mark him. So good return for Calhoun. Actually, they're going to give him another yard. So they're going to mark it at the 38-yard line. So good return for Calhoun. Let's see if the Indians can capitalize on that.
Certainly another thing that Pinson Valley will need to win in this game if they want to stay competitive is the special team side of the ball. Have better returns. Get better field position, get clean punts off, clean field goals. That's something they'll need to stay in this game.
Pinson Valley has not done well scoring the football except for 2 weeks. Runoff tackle there. Momentum carries him for a nice gain, but coming up hard on the tackle, Samson Stanley, the linebacker. But Calhoun will get about 4 tough yards on that one.
It's something we saw in the Shades Valley game was that they give the ball to TJ Calhoun. He can pick up yards, and they have another back who they will split time with. But it's a matter of being consistent with getting the blocks.
Handoff Calhoun again, bounces outside, got the first down. Good kick out blocks there as he gets to the 48-yard line of Hueytown, so a 10-yard gain for Calhoun on the burst. Let's go down to Chris on the sideline. Chris, what do you got?
Guys, a quick score by the Golden Gophers. What I saw here on the field was that ball was woefully underthrown, but the receiver was patient enough to come back and help his quarterback out to set up that touchdown. Now Pinson Valley marching down the field trying to get the running game going. Back to you guys upstairs.
And they had a successful couple of runs there, but this time not much happening. As a 2-yard loss for the Golden Gophers, their defensive line coming up hard. Also the rover Telly Simmons, number 25, in on that tackle. So 2nd and 12.
You can look at that Hueytown defensive line and just see the guys that it's hard to run through. That's why you live with 2-yard gains, 3-yard gains, because maybe you pop that 9-yard gain. And you're not going to have too many big plays against this D-line. You just can't have too many negatives.
Freeman drops back. Got a couple of receivers on the right side, but decides to run it. Dips inside, back outside, and he won't get much going on there at all. Coming up, Treeland Thompson, the linebacker. Also, Sanders Scott, the linebacker. They really closed on that speed pretty quickly on that outside run.
Yeah, I think he might have tucked the ball just a little too soon. You point out the receivers kind of down here.
Yeah, they hadn't even run the route yet.
Closer
really.
to the side, our sideline, and yes, Hueytown got pressure, but the pocket looked pretty clean still. I think he left just a little bit too soon, abandoned that play.
Freeman getting pressured on the blitz, escapes, rolls right, and just outstretched arms of Travion Edwards. He had it, and that's where that pressure got dialed up, right? It was Simmons, the rover, on the blitz. He evaded him, but it just caused a little bit of an errant pass.
Yeah, that one was much more needed to get out of the pocket. He did a good job and really made a pretty good throw. I know you can – every coach down there is going to say receiver gets 2 hands on it, you better catch the ball. But
yeah.
That was a tough play for both the quarterback and the receiver to make, and that's the problem you get once you get behind the sticks, 3rd and long, forced throws like that, more difficult conversions.
So 4th down for Pinson Valley, who got a first down. At least they flipped the field a little bit and should get some good field position here. Jaquarius Brooks is back for the kick. He's got it and got a chance to return it on the low trajectory. Bounces left, goes right. He's down the sideline. Brooks, 35, 40, 50, 40. Brooks still on his feet, still going hard. He's all the way down to the 25-yard line. I don't see a flag. Well, there might be. Official standing back here.
I think the thing that stands out the most about the replay there is we got him catching the ball, and then he was able to look up, take his time, wait to see where the lane was because of how low that kick was. And, again, I said Pinson Valley has to win special teams. That is not how you do it. You mentioned that that could give them a potentially flip the field there, and it couldn't be done because the coverage didn't have time to get down there, and he was able to pick a lane.
And if you're going to kick with a low trajectory, obviously you want to do a directional kick away from him, right? There's a touchdown right up the middle. How about that? Hueytown quarterback Jabron Ellington, just on a quarterback keeper, drops back, nice through, and look at that sprint for 6.
Yeah, you saw it looked like a little option to the left, and lineman got to the quarterback first, shut down the pitch, but there was no one in the middle to stop the quarterback once he decided to keep it. And then once he got past the front 7, there was certainly no one in the secondary that was going to catch him. Really good read by Ellington on that play.
Jesus Sosa on for the extra point. It is up, it is good. 14-0 Hueytown. We'll take a break. You're watching the Jeffco Ed TV Game of the Week.
It's an underrated job for everybody else, but for us, it's the best job in the world. Bus drivers are doing a tremendous job in receiving kids each day with a smile, sending them home each day with a smile, making a difference in their lives. You know, kids will remember some teachers but they'll usually always remember their bus driver because the bus driver's with them for so long. I mean, so many years of their life.
Welcome back to Jeff's Co-Ed TV Game of the Week. Calhoun on his third return already, and another good return over the 35-yard line, and they'll mark him at the 36. So Calhoun with a couple of good returns. Pinson Valley did a little bit of damage last time, but just they've got to stay away from big plays, and already Hueytown has 2 or 3 big plays.
Yeah, it's the big negatives for Pinson Valley. The snap made a difference on the first drive. And then a low punt, just a miss hit on the kick that kept that ball low enough for a big punt return. I mean, Hueytown's run a total of 3 offensive plays, and 2 of them are touchdowns.
2 touchdowns, yeah.
I mean, 2 uncompetitive touchdowns, really, with Ellington's run. So, need a response if you're Pinson Valley.
So Freeman is your quarterback. Zion Moffitt is the running back next to it. Throws it out here to a youngster and closing quickly, just in a heartbeat. Khalil White, the safety, came up hard as they threw it out in the flat to Travion Edwards, but not much going on. They lost the 3.
Yeah, that was a play that was certainly a good play from the defensive backs, Hueytown, there on the near side, but blockers have to be better on that swing pass. At least set the edge before you can necessarily try to make a block, but Hueytown read it from the start.
And that's a runoff right tackle. They gave it to Moffitt, who wasn't in my top 2 or 3, but again, when you're 1-8, a lot of young guys will probably play in this game. So we'll have to get those names in as quickly as we can, even if they're not on our depth chart. Moffitt got about 3 yards to get it back to the original line of scrimmage. There he is, number 44. So 3rd down and 10 here for Freeman. Freeman drops, runs left, almost got tripped, just getting chased by Gophers everywhere. Flag is down, and he throws it away. It's just not going to get an accurate pass running left and right with that etch-a-sketch run by the quarterback. But it's a face mask by the defense.
Face mask, Hueytown.
It's like a 5-yard variety. It was when they were pursuing the quarterback there in the backfield, thrown right away.
Yeah, 5 yards. So it'll still remain 3rd down, but they'll get the play over and get 5 yards out of it.
And their closest 3rd down, well, since the snap.
Yeah, true.
That went through the quarterback.
3rd down. Repeat 3rd down.
They don't want a repeat of that for sure. So 3rd down and 5 from the 41. Freeman rolls again, bumps into his own man and falls. To your point, I think he's, for lack of a better word, panicking a little early as opposed to keeping your eyes downfield to throw the football.
Yeah, that one might have been, he saw what I saw, and that was Jordan Jackson coming into the backfield, blowing up that running back. Yeah. I kind of gassed myself a little bit, so I can't imagine standing in the backfield and seeing that coming at you and thinking, and not panicking. So I can understand that. But, yeah, something has to change up front for Pinson Valley. They have to get some more pass protection. Running the ball has gone mostly well, but you can't live off the ground game. You're eventually going to have to throw the ball, especially when you're down 2 touchdowns.
Christian Thomas on to kick. Brooks is back. He's now joined by Anton Witt, a freshman defensive back, so 2 returners back, in case they do that directional kick one way or the other, and they kick it they do that just now. Witt gets it, and he's tackled immediately. So a nice play down there for Pinson Valley by number 31, Tavarius Miles. So a nice hustle run there for Tavarius Miles. Hey, I hope you got to join us this past Tuesday night on Jeff Co-Ed TV. We had a great game with Minor Middle School crowning itself as the champions of the Jeff Co-Ed Middle School Championship for the county. They defeated Irwin 20-8 to claim the crown. It'll be interesting to see if all those guys will play on Fridays. I got a hunch a lot of them will here on Jeffco Ed TV for years to come. Congratulations to the minor players, Coach Maury Smitherman and Principal Marty Everett, for that outstanding game. That was a lot of fun Tuesday night to watch those kids battle it out and play. Minor beating previously unbeaten Irwin to win the middle school championship. 2nd down and 4 now, as Hueytown has the football, and they've got a 1st down now and still playing rugby-style stuff there on the run, as Jakyler Ellis, the senior, was moving the chains there for the Gophers.
Yeah, now that they have that 2-touchdown lead, I think you might see a little bit of the simple runs. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, control the game. And they're controlling it the way that you'd expect a team like them to control it. Now it's about keeping it that way.
Jakyler Ellis dropped the football twice, picked it up, and he's gotten, I can't believe he got a couple of yards before he was swarmed under over there. Leland Johnson, a sophomore linebacker, number 12, leading the way there. Watch him come in and clean it up.
Yeah, I thought at first that was a forward toss a little bit too much.
Right.
I thought it might have been an incomplete pass, but looking at the replay, I think that was the right call. It was a fumble. He just got lucky it kept bouncing forward and right into his arms.
He got a yard out of that, yeah.
Instead of to someone else's arms.
2nd down and 9, football at the 47 of the Pinson Valley Indians. Ellington fakes it, throws deep over the middle, got a man, wide open. Quintrell Jackson, he will sprint for 6. That's a 46-yard touchdown, Ellington to Jackson.
That's 2 pass plays, both completions to Jackson. 79 yards on two passes. And once again, now we are up to 7 total offensive plays, 3 touchdowns.
7 plays, 3 touchdowns. So Hueytown, if you thought they were going to overlook Pinson Valley in this last game being the region champs, you are sadly mistaken. Jesus Sosa on for the extra point. It is up and good. So 2:33 to go here, and Hueytown on top 21-0. Well, Halloween is for the kids, right? That's what they tell us. Well, don't tell our teachers and staff that. Look at them. I mean, the kids weren't the only ones dressing up yesterday. Look at this deal here. The Witches from Hocus Pocus, Adamsville Elementary, Home Alone's Wet Bandits. What is that, 3 Blind Mice? There's Annie, of course. And the Jeffco Ed Communications Department, John Rocket as Spock. John Huddleston, our executive producer, is the 3rd little pig. Is that correct?
It's the 3rd one.
I'm not sure
Left
what's
right,
happening in that photo, but I hope they took those off as quickly as possible. And they're at work. They're in their halls of Jeffco Ed's building.
Wearing that out in public.
Yeah.
Where people can see them.
The strange thing is Rocket wears that every other weekend. He just happened to wear it to work that day. He's playing the role seriously, isn't he? 21-0, Hueytown in control, and they kick it to Calhoun again. I'd be kicking it away from him. He's been the best player for Pinson Valley so far. This time they corral him before the 30, and he'll be, we'll mark it about the 29-yard line, I guess, and that is where the Indians will come out. They need something positive to happen here. They've gotten a 1st down or 2, but they need a handful of them in a row here.
Yeah, they do. I mean, this game, and I don't know if it's a good thing. You know, you don't get used to the blowout losses. I mean, last week was 63-6.
Yeah,
to
but the 2 weeks before that, not bad. You know, right?
Yeah, and so like I think it shows you some of that youth, and when you get down, things can really get away from you, and mistakes stack up one after the other. Especially when, you know, Hueytown is a good football team, and they're not going to be backing down anytime soon.
Freeman hands off to Calhoun. He made one man miss as a run blitz was happening, and Calhoun actually will get 8 yards of that. Shooting through was Xander Scott, but he missed it.
Yeah, timed it perfectly. That's a little bit of a delayed handoff. That's how you can stop those blitzes. He was still, I think he had his eyes on the quarterback maybe a little too much. By the time he went wide of the lead blocker, Calhoun was past him.
Calhoun again makes the first man miss, and he'll have the 1st down on that 33-yard run, and they'll mark it at the 41-yard line, but there is a flag. Illegal procedure. That'll back up Pinson Valley. They had a first down, and it's erased, and that's those key mistakes happening at the wrong time.
Yep, and it always seemed to come when you think that Pinson Valley is gaining a little bit of momentum. I mean, even going back to that the first drive, you have a couple of plays positive. You have third and short, and you have the bad snap. On the next drive, you know, you get to midfield, you think you switch field position, a bad punt. You can't convert to a first down, and you have a flag. It's just these little things that are stacking up at the wrong times for Pinson Valley.
So second down and a long 7. They've got to get to the 39-yard line. Freeman going deep. He's got a man, and it's caught. What a beautiful pass and catch as Travion Edwards was playing hand fighting with the Hueytown defender. Take a look.
That is a great ball, but an even better catch when he got under that ball. He timed it perfectly. He didn't try to sprint to the ball and then make it a jump ball, just slowly coming up underneath it. That's a really good throw and catch.
Jeffrey Garrett on the defense, and Edwards nudged him off of him to make that catch. Calhoun inside, and again, he'll get about 3. And they're keeping them honest, dashing them with some Calhoun, right?
I think that's the best way that Pinson Valley can have success, is keep feeding him in the moments where you don't need to rush, you don't need the big play. Just turn around, give it to Calhoun, let him get, you know, anywhere from 2, 3, 5 yards, what he's been doing so far in this game, and keep the game in front of you.
And they've kind of slowed the pace a little bit, taking their time here to make sure they're on the right page offensively. So Calhoun flanked to the left of Freeman, tight bunch formation with one lone receiver. Freeman will go around the left side. There's a flag down on this side. I don't know if they saw somebody move or what, but Freeman will pick up 6, but hold on for the flag.
Yeah, it looked like a receiver down here at the bottom of the screen, and he was turned around and moving when the ball was snapped. So it's either false start, illegal motion, illegal shift, illegal formation, but yeah, that's 5 yards back.
And we'll see this illegal motion against Pinson Valley. Chris is on the sideline. Chris.
Hey, Caleb, you called it. That's exactly what happened. The receiver, number 14, was trying to tell the opposite receiver on the other end that he should have been out wide. And he got very frustrated, turned and looked at the sideline, and then the flag came out. Just that quick, just that simple. Back to you guys.
Again, those untimely mistakes, that didn't cost the first down, but now it's 2nd and 12. It would have been 3rd and 2.
Yeah, that's when you're thinking about 10 yards a difference in a play, I think every coach would take 3rd and 2 instead, especially when you're probably thinking that everything's 4 down territory.
Right? Yeah.
So that one hurts, and on 2nd and 12, I don't know what you do. I think you probably go back to Calhoun just to try to get a manageable 3rd down situation. We've seen 2nd and longs turn into sacks for them so far, and that just makes it a disaster and out of field goal range, even if that's even a thought process.
Well, it's been kind of a messy situation here at Pinson Valley. They got their coach, James Thompson, very late in the process. He was 19 and 12 at Carver Montgomery, and of course they could solidify those 2 schools down there, so he needed a job, and it just happened very late. It seems like it's carried over into the season and been, I don't know if scattered's the right word, but just very rushed, maybe a better word.
Yeah.
And they're playing like that. 2nd and 12. They should be better as they go. And Hueytown jumps off sides. Looks like number 25 jumped, and that was Simmons. So they'll get 5 of that back, I think.
Well, the ref on the far side saw a receiver move. The offside did happen first. They're just going to have to make sure they talk it through. But
oh, they did call the receiver moving. So that'll mark them 5 more back. And the football will be at the 33-yard line. 2nd down and 17.
I think they might have gotten that one wrong. I saw down at the bottom of the line, Hueytown player jump first.
Handoff Calhoun, bounces left. Boy, he had a hold there, but grabbing those shoestrings and hanging on was Jordan Jackson, the senior defensive end, or Calhoun might have got 10.
Yeah, and that's, once again, just a major difference. And now you're in that 3rd and long because of those 2 penalties. When, like you said, you would have been 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and suddenly you're back to 3rd and 15. And I don't know. I don't know what's your best play. You go over the top again. You give him another shot.
3rd down and about 16 here. Should be the last play of the first quarter. Freeman dropping. Again, he had a pocket, escapes, and he's drugged down right there. Flag is down late. And he's drugged down at the line of scrimmage. Donovan Moore on the tackle. And did you get an indication?
Based off where it was thrown, it looked certainly like a face mask because there was no blockers, and he tossed it as soon as the tackle was made. And the fact that he did bring him down, I would not be surprised if this is 15 yards.
It is a face mask. So Pinson Valley will be the recipient of that particular play, and we'll see where they mark it.
I know if I'm Pinson Valley, I might feel like if he tackled my player and there was a face mask, that should be a 15-yarder, right?
It's 5-yard variety, but at least they'll get 3rd down and get some of that yards back. And this will be the final play at 3rd and 11. Hueytown on top with explosive plays so far. 21-0 here in the first quarter. Final play of the first quarter coming here. There's a good look at Calhoun and Freeman.
I don't think anyone has a play call right now.
And good look at the coaching staff of the Indians. 3rd and 11. Freeman drops, pressured again, got away. 25, 20. Boy, he came up and got very close to a first down, but Khalil White came up and hit him high while Stanley hit him low, and they stopped his progress. Take a look.
Yeah, when he's moving that quick, you know that hit's coming, and it was going to stop him dead in his tracks. But that's a good play. It makes it 4th and manageable.
We'll take a break. Hueytown on top after 1 quarter, 21-0. You're watching the Jeff Coed TV Game of the Week. Good look at the field here in Pinson Valley, one of our fields here for the Jefferson County school system, and there's the huddle of the Indians enduring a 1-8 season, but they've gotten better as the year has gone. Their offense has gotten better, and they're facing a 4th down and 3 here to try to keep this drive going and see if they can score on this really good Hueytown defense.
Yeah, I expect, especially being down 3 touchdowns, needing something. I think you got to come out, look at this like a 2-point conversion play, right? You got your 3 yards to get, put it on the right side of the field, and pull from one of those plays that you have in your playbook.
Calhoun flanked to the right of Freeman. Twin receivers to the right, whistle, and that's blown dead. And that's usually false start, and it is.
False start, Pinson Valley.
So Pinson Valley, I don't know how many flags that is. So that's 5 or 6, right? 4? Got 4 penalties, all coming at the wrong time. That's a 4th and 2 or 3. Now it's a 4th and 8.
Yeah, I didn't see it. It usually doesn't come from the head official there in the back of the backfield. A little surprising. But no arguments, and he must have seen something. And now that 2-point conversion theory goes out the window. You just got to find a way to get 8 yards.
And they had to get a new play, obviously, for 8 as opposed to 2 or 3. Freeman going up deep, one-on-one coverage. That's a touchdown. I think they're going to call pass interference, but it should count as they threw it up for the Indians. What a great pass by Freeman. Take a look, and on the receiving end, Christian Thomas with that outstanding catch.
Yeah, that's a great look at that play, too. It was clear pass interference, jerseys being pulled on, being able to break free of the defender and make a diving catch. That's a great ball from Rico Freeman as well, to be able to put that where only your receiver can get it. That's a great catch, and you know, when sometimes you need 8 yards, just go get all of it.
They're going to enforce the pass interference, I think, on the kickoff. Travion Edwards had the great catch here with that nifty nudge to get it, and then we saw the same thing from a different receiver. So nice coaching there for those players to get the touchdown.
Yeah, that's the kind of fight you like to see on these individual plays in a season like this, to still see that battle every time they get an opportunity.
Thomas, who caught the touchdown, now rolls right, trying to get it. He'll throw it. What a great play, and he throws to the guys we were talking about. Thomas to Edwards for the 2-point conversion. So right there, 21-8, Pinson Valley with a little trickeration there. Take a look.
Yeah, that was a play right out of the NCAA football 25 playbook.
Yeah.
I've seen that. That's worked against me several times. It's very frustrating.
It's worked against you. All right.
Perfect flip, though.
Let's go to Chris down on the sidelines. Chris, what do you got?
Hey, guys, like you said, Thomas and Edwards are becoming the impact players for this game, giving Pinson Valley a little bit of a spark and making sure that they try to stay in this game. The play that resulted in the touchdown was exactly that. Great officiating. It was definitely PI all the way, but he managed to hang on to that ball. Just a great catch and a great look by the officials to see the infraction. Back to you guys upstairs.
No doubt about it. Well coaching. He got a little nudge, and jersey was getting tugged as he made the catch. So Pinson Valley gets on the board, 21-8 now. Just underway here in the second quarter. Thomas to kick it away. And the Gophers have it. And here comes, oh boy, look out. Forget about it. And that's what happens right after the play. Anthony Robinson, the junior running back, who's not even a starter, got it. He cut right, found a seam, and he was gone.
Yeah, I think you saw that kind of from the kickoff. Pinson Valley's coverage team just didn't look like they were finding their lanes. They all kind of converged to the middle. Hueytown saw that, and once he got to the outside, there was one guy up here at the 50, made him cut back to the inside, but there was no one there to help him. So I think by the time he got to about the 30 to 35-yard line, you kind of knew he was gone.
And I said he was back up exactly a starting running back. They do play more than one. Ellis does play as well. But he brought that back like he knew what he was doing, which he does. And again, Hueytown, how many plays? That wasn't even an offensive play. That's just a kickoff. But Sosa's on for the extra point, and he missed it. That's about the only thing that's gone wrong for Hueytown tonight so far. 27-8. The Gophers on top of the Indians. Parents, don't miss out. Informational meetings for the Jefferson County International Baccalaureate School are underway. If your student's entering grades 6 through 11 in the fall of 2025 and they're interested in attending JCIB, then please join us for an upcoming meeting. This Thursday, the JCIB team will be at McAdory Middle School at 6 o'clock. They'll also hold meetings on November 12th, November 19th, and January 9th. More information can be found by checking out the Jeffco Ed social media channels. So Hueytown, Pinson Valley feels good about themselves, and it lasted until the kickoff return.
Yeah, that's, again, if you want to talk about any kind of backbreakers, if that can still be a thing for a team that's sitting at 1-8, you score a touchdown, get a nice little 2-point conversion, feeling good about yourself, get your defense back out there. They're well rested. I think you really don't give them a chance to even get back out there. They just feels like we just heard this song for a kickoff, and right. There it is again.
Right, there it is again. So Sosa will kick it away. 27-8. And the kick to Calhoun again. And he brings it out. Actually, that's not Calhoun. That's number 2, Mr. Waldrop. His first kickoff return, and he does a nice job as well. So kickoff receive has been pretty stellar for Pinson Valley, as they'll have the football on the 43-yard line.
Yeah, it's I mean, their average field position, this is their best starting field position, but it's usually around the 35. 30 to 35 is where they're averaging, so you would think that would go into something. But then when you look at Hueytown's starting field position on its 3 drives, it's, you know, on Pinson Valley's side of the field. So they still got a long way to go before winning the field position battle.
Freeman with Moffitt. Oh, and there's a jump offside again. The second on Simmons, the outside rover, coming up to run blitz again, but he's a little too antsy, and that'll give him a free 5 yards.
Pinson Valley will take as many yards as they can get on offense. And what they do have going is that, you know, they might have Hueytown's defense a little bit tired on this drive. Maybe you can respond quickly just like Hueytown did.
First down and 5. Football at the 48-yard line. Just underway here in the second quarter. Hueytown in control, 27-8. Freeman throwing deep again. Thomas did that same little nudge to get open, but it was overshot as he leaned on Brooks. And Brooks is looking at the official going, hey, man, he can't do that. In the NFL, they might call it. I don't think they're going to call it in high school football. In any event, the pass was uncatchable.
Yeah, I think that's something they've really allowed the whole game. And at this point, you've said, hey, we're allowing hand fighting, so hand fight back, you know?
Yep.
And that's your job as a defensive back, is to adjust your game, figure out how much contact you can get away with.
Not a bad idea to take a shot there on 1st and 5, though.
Just didn't put enough air underneath it.
Yep. This time a fake to Moffitt, and going around right in is Freeman, and he shows you that speed. He'll get to the 42-yard line, and that'll be a 10-yard gain.
Yeah, you do start to see his speed, don't you? I mean, he can get around in. We saw it early on one of his scrambles where I thought if someone hits him, he might get hurt with how fast he was moving. He's certainly got some speed, and I think you can see why he's getting this opportunity and, you know, could potentially be a future quarterback in this system.
Throws it out to Calhoun in the flat at the 42. He turns on the afterburners. He's down to the 27. So that's a 15-yard pass run after the catch of about 14 there for Calhoun.
Again, that right there, they need to do more of that. We saw it on the first drive and not again, and that's why the pass rush has been such a problem. You have to keep that pass rush honest. Keep them at 3 or 4 guys. Can't have more than that.
Freeman going again to Thomas, and out thrown again, trying to work on Brooks. They were tight coverage again. Freeman a little bit too much air under it on that attempt. Second down and 10.
It's a good-looking deep ball. I can understand why they want to keep going to it, and he hasn't made a mistake yet. He's throwing the ball over the head of the defender and the receiver. You'd rather that happen than underthrow it, and then you end up throwing an interception. So throw it out there to where only your receiver can get it. Maybe he can get past the defender a little bit more cleanly one of these plays and end up making another deep catch.
Trips to the right. The lone receiver down below is Thomas. They'd like for him to operate down there, whistle, and stop it to play. And there's a flag down.
Snap, false start.
Another
Offense,
false start on Pinson Valley.
5-yard penalty.
So it'll be second down and 15. Move back to the 32-yard line. Hueytown's defense, I mean, Pinson Valley, for them to be moving the football now consistently these last 2 drives is pretty impressive. And we told you about their little 2-week offensive explosion, and they seem to be hitting their stride a little bit right now.
Yeah, and I think I know a couple of people on that sideline that might not be very happy about it. Coach Patterson included. They struggled a little bit with Central Tuscaloosa last week. That wasn't their best game because, they had already clinched a region title. Maybe that had something to do with it. And I think that's why tonight you're going to see the starters for Hueytown in for a while, because I think Patterson wants to get them into that playoff mindset and get them a little bit more ready than they were last week and maybe at times that we've seen tonight.
Elijah Miniweather checks in. He's a freshman. Boy, look at the Hueytown rush. But Freeman gets out of it and escapes and is down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. So, a pickup of 13 for Freeman. They all rushed past it, didn't they?
No, that move further down the field, too. Somehow he got out of the pocket that completely collapsed on him, but then another move to be able to extend that, make it third and very short. Yeah, we are seeing some flashes from Rico Freeman. I could certainly see him, leading this team and this offense for a couple of years.
You hope to get half of it back. He's gotten more than that. It's 3rd and 2. Looking, escaping the pocket a little early perhaps. He might run for it and they close quickly. Khalil White was coming up hard and made him angle out further. So Freeman will actually lose a yard. They'll give him officially a sack on that. It'll be 4th and about 3, a long 3. Obviously they'll have to go for it.
Yeah, that's something that if you do want to win the team, if you do want to be that quarterback next year, those are plays you go after that first down. You can't step out of bounds. I know you just had a big run. You're probably pretty tired out there. But you got to go get that first down or at least put forth an effort or throw the ball away. Don't lose a yard. You have to understand the situation. Don't just run out and take a 4th down.
And they'll call a timeout and talk about it right here. We'll take a quick break. Hueytown on top 27-8. You're watching the Jeff Coed TV Game of the Week.
Hello, Jeff Coed family. This year, we are seizing the day to shape the future. You'll see that message on our social media channels, our website, and signs around your school. At Jeff Coed, we're all about offering numerous opportunities to our students. From our highly rated international baccalaureate school, to our signature academies, to our career tech and fine arts programs, to our elementary theme schools. We're looking to seize the day, every day, and capitalize on every opportunity in front of us. Seize the day, shape the future. This is Jeff Coed.
All right, 4th down and a long 3 here for Pinson Valley. Scored on their last touchdown drive, trying to crawl back into this game, and then Hueytown ran the kickoff back. So Pinson Valley trying to erase that deficit again right now. Freeman sends Calhoun out of the backfield, rushing, and he's dropped. Just too much pressure there. Xander Scott shot in on the blitz and sacked Calhoun. Freeman.
That shows you exactly how aggressive Hueytown is still being in this game. I think I saw 7 guys come.
Yeah.
And that was with a running back going out of the backfield on a swing pass.
They're bringing them.
I mean, Pinson Valley had 5 guys out for passes and only 4 guys to cover them, but the blitz got there so quickly it didn't matter. And on 4th and short, got to get rid of the ball quickly.
And with those long routes, you don't have any time. So some hot routes may need to be in order here when they see blitz. But we're talking about next level stuff for quarterback play, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
hard to transcribe that in high school.
A guy that's still listed as a receiver on the roster.
Right. Ellington hands off. That's Ellis, the backup running back. And he'll get about 4 on that carry to the 35-yard line. Good look at the Hueytown offensive line, led by Gavin Penny, the senior center. And this is Jaden Powell, the quarterback, the backup in now for Hueytown. He drops the football and falls on it again. Flag comes in late. I don't know if they saw a flag, actually a couple of flags down, but Powell dropped it for a moment but fell right on it. We'll see what the flags are about.
I think it's going to be holding, probably a reason that he was able to fall on the ball so quickly. No other defenders were there. I think they were both being held, the ones who actually got there to get the pressure on the field. So that's a big play for Pinson Valley's defense, probably their best of the night.
So this time the penalty will go against the Gophers, and they'll back them up after a good 5-yard gain on first down. It'll be second down and about 12 at the 29-yard line.
I would think that would be declined. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, because he's sacked, right? I mean, you're not getting a lot.
Take your third and long.
Yeah, so third down and 12.
Third down.
Powell, the backup quarterback, junior, certainly has some ability. They try to get him some reps here before the playoffs begin. Powell drops, going long. He's got a man. Just threw it. He tried to find his open receiver who was trying to run under it, and the timing was off on it. That was Noah Armstrong, the senior. He just couldn't navigate it.
Looked like he picked the wrong shoulder. He thought maybe a little bit more of a fly route than a deep post pattern. He was open. He just missed him, and that's why you have your backup quarterback in there right now, showing him, hey, that's a play you got to make. You might be called upon next week in an emergency situation. That's a play you got to make.
So Brooks is on to kick it away for Hueytown. And he makes one man miss and gets a squabbling kick that barely goes 6 yards. He got pressured, danced around, and tried to kick it on the move, and that's the result. So Pinson forces a bad play, and now they'll have the football first down and 10 at the 29-yard line.
I don't think I've ever written this down in my stat book before, but that is a punt for 0 yards. That's a 0-yard punt.
Yep. Turned it around. So Pinson will come out, first down and 10 at the 29, with another opportunity here to whittle away at this 27-8 lead.
By far their best starting field position.
Yes.
By far.
Yes. Chris, we'll hang on. We'll get to you in just a moment after this play. Oh, there's a flag down. And I think we got too many people. Illegal participation. Yep, on Pinson Valley. Chris, what do you got?
Hey, guys, I can tell you that was probably one of the oddest plays I've seen for a punter. So he dodged one blocker that was coming toward him, and he kind of fumbled the ball in his hands, but it was partially blocked. And so actually it was amazing that it didn't turn out better for Pinson Valley.
Freeman going deep to Thomas. A little bit closer than the previous 2 or 3. Brooks on the coverage, but still not able to run under it to get that play. They're trying that play. That's about the 4th or 5th time already.
And if Hueytown's not going to put, safety help over the top of these guys, why not? It's been your most successful play on offense. It's worked a couple of times.
Then you just got to hope you can block their blitz.
Yes.
Right? Which has been the other side of that coin.
Because that's what's happened is that you're forcing Freeman to get rid of the ball a little bit too quickly, which is why the routes aren't downfield as far as they need to be, which is why the ball gets overthrown.
Second down and 15. Again, obvious 4-down territory for the Indians. Handoff Calhoun, dashes his way in. I really love his feet and vision. It looks like nothing, and he ends up getting 4 there out of nothing.
Yeah, I think maybe they got a little bit too in love with the deep ball. I think you get that kind of field position. I know you had the 5-yard penalty, but probably should have gone to Calhoun right away. Got into that first and 15.
Positive,
yeah,
right?
And remember what opened up those deep passes to begin with was T.J. Calhoun running the ball.
There's no doubt about that. Third down and 12. Again, 2-down territory, so they don't have to get it all right here. Freeman dropping. He has time this time and throws a nice online pass. What a catch over there. R.J. Addison. And that was a right hash all the way across to the other side of the field catch. Look at there.
Yeah, that's a great throw. Being able to pick out your spot. Hueytown dropped into more of a zone. They had 3 deep back that time. Couldn't go over the top. Being able to recognize that and find one of those underneath routes. Again, 4th and very manageable.
But they didn't get the first down. Yeah. 4th down and 2. He threw it 25 yards, but all the way across the field. So 4 wide receivers set, and here comes Hueytown. They're going to give it to him.
Flag on the play.
It looked almost on purpose.
Xander Scott came. He was in the backfield past the quarterback. So you just give him a first down on that one. Pinson Valley says thank you very much.
First down.
It's a good thing they didn't snap that ball. I think Rico Freeman might have been a little scared as what was coming at him there really quickly. But that's been a problem for Hueytown tonight. They get a little too excited about jumping the snap count, and I think there's 3 offsides already.
Good look at Freeman and Calhoun there. A couple of good football players for Pinson Valley. They'll hand to Calhoun. He's on the right outside, cuts back against the grain, still on his feet. He's inside the 10. How about that run of 9 yards or so for Calhoun?
Yeah, once again, another impressive run for him, and they're simple, and these handoffs and the sweeps, but they get him the ball in different ways because Hueytown has to have that look of, is he going out for a swing pass? Is he coming up the middle between the tackles? And that was a good little read option, just a good play by Freeman.
Freeman tried to run left. Now he throws it to Calhoun somehow and scores. There has to be linemen downfield, right?
That's what I'm looking for,
That's
but I don't see any
Patterson
flag.
is very upset, the Hueytown coach, because it was a running play for sure. There were linemen downfield. You could take a look, and then it's a really smart play by Freeman to get rid of it, right?
I think you saw 73 was the only one that I saw downfield. 4 of them were still blocking in the backfield. So it wasn't like they were all down there. 4 of them kind of got pushed back on the run.
That's why the officials knew to look for it anyway, right?
Yeah, that's why
shocked everybody.
Hueytown was so far into the backfield because they pushed Pinson Valley's line into the backfield. So based off the replay, it didn't look like there were that many guys downfield. We're going to get a timeout from Hueytown as they were not ready to get out onto the
Patterson
field.
is not happy about it at all. There you see him over there.
Timeout. Hueytown.
Really upset, wanting to talk to the official. I thought I saw a couple that were downfield for sure, and that guy didn't see it as an official. So Patterson called time, but he wants to talk to the official about it. He's sitting there waiting on him to come over. This is a conversation he does not want to have. But anyway, Freeman escapes, finds Calhoun. A very heads-up play by both of them.
I mean, I think you get over into the Pinson Valley sideline, they watch tape later next week, you'll tell him, hey, you can't make that throw because that's going to be a penalty more often than not. Like, I mean, most people are going to see that. And even if it wasn't on that play, more often than not, when you try to make that kind of play, linemen will be down the field. And that conversation
I mean, he's not animated. He's just questioning. He was animated initially because I thought I saw it as well, that somebody had to be downfield. But they didn't look for it.
And I think that's the question, right?
Because it was a running play.
You go out and you ask them, were there linemen downfield?
Yeah.
And if their answer is, I don't know, then that's a problem. But if they say we didn't see any downfield, then you just sit back, you accept it.
They can only call what they see,
and
right?
get back to tape, and then maybe figure out the call. But if they're – and Coach Patterson knows that. He's been around a while. But if they're telling him, they don't know or they didn't check, then that's part of a problem.
Yeah. 27-14 is the score right now. So Pinson Valley can basically cut it in half, if not more, with a 2-point try here. Freeman at quarterback. He's just going to run it around right in. And did he get in? He did. I didn't think he got in. I thought he ran out of real estate, but Freeman is in. So 27-16. Suddenly, this game was 21-0, and now it's 27-16.
Yeah, that's his speed once again. Get to the edge and then just outrun people. He definitely didn't have the size on the guy chasing him down if he tried to go back at him, but get to the edge, know your strengths. And Rico Freeman having himself a little game right now.
And we told you that this team only scored 50 total points in 5 of their losses, but a few weeks ago they scored 30 versus Mountain Brook, who's a difficult team in 6A, 39 versus Pell City, who's a playoff team. So they have been scoring points of late. So we'll see. go down to Chris now. Chris.
Hey guys, one of the position coaches was walking to each player saying, never quit, never stop. We've got ourselves a ball game, 16-27.
Brooks picks up the errant kick, and he's tackled immediately. Couldn't go very far. And good sportsmanship there. And a good tackle on special teams by Simpson Connor, a freshman running back for Pinson Valley. So Hueytown will have the football at the 31 and suddenly have given up a couple of touchdowns here.
Yeah, like, pretty long second quarter all of a sudden. Now we're talking about what has happened over the past 6 minutes of just game time with 3 total touchdowns, including that long kickoff return, a weird punt play. We've had a lot of weird plays happening.
They throw it over the middle, but that time pressure by Pinson Valley, bringing it hard for Pinson Valley was number 32.
Brings up second down.
And he really came in hard on Ellington. Pinson Valley coming in hard with Darius Smith. So he put pressure on it, made it 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Ellington coming back into the game after just one possession. Wonder if Patterson is second-guessing himself, bringing in the backup on that last drive. With how early in this game is, there's plenty of football to be played.
Whistle, and I don't know if somebody jumped
On the field.
or if the clock ran out.
Disconcerting signals on the defense.
The
5
defense
yards,
is calling
still
signals.
second down.
Can't do that. So it's 2nd down and 5. And that's the kind of stuff you just don't need to do, right? You got momentum. You just stopped them on a play and you just gave them a free 5.
Yeah, and you're thinking, you're excited down there after the plays, and you're thinking you have the momentum, and you're just doing things that you're not used to doing.
Ellington fakes the toss. He's on the corner. 50, 45. Ellington still dancing and knocked out of bounds at the 40. 24-yard run for Ellington. Great play fake.
Yeah, that's what he scored a touchdown on earlier, a fake pitch. And the entire defense, you just see 1 or 2 steps go that way with that fake pitch and being able to take off, just like any kind of counter play, sending the defense one way and going towards the other sideline. He's got the speed to do it.
So Hueytown going in a hurry here to get their play set. Ellington throws out, quick out on the outside. That's a 1st down catch. Throw of 8, a run of 4, so they'll get about 12 on it. Quintrell Jackson with the catch.
It's been Jackson's game right now. I think that those 8 to 10 yard routes, we saw a lot against Clay Chalkville when Clay Chalkville was staying back, protecting the deep ball, and Hueytown lived on those underneath routes.
And another flag.
Flag on the play.
Final snap, encroachment, defense.
Encroachment against Pinson Valley, and Hueytown's too good to be giving them plays.
Yeah, that's
1st down.
you can just go back to that one, right? It would have been 2nd and 10, long way. All of a sudden, 5-yard penalty. You have your defensive line maybe not as focused. That's what happens on the pitch play, and then you get back down here, and suddenly, it's back to an 11-point lead, but you're losing all the momentum you had.
They fake the wide receiver pitch. They hand off around the end, and that's an easy touchdown, Anthony Robinson. He's got his 2nd touchdown. Beautiful ball handling again by Ellington. Set it up. Take a look.
Yeah, and great blocking up front, too.
Yes,
they opened up the hole. Linebackers didn't really have a shot by the time Robinson hit their level, and then no one was in the secondary to be able to bring him down. That's pretty much looked exactly like Ellington's run on the other side of the field when he scored on that fake pitch the first time around. Once he gets past that first level, no one is really slowing them down.
So Hueytown has got the backup kicker in now, Stephen Jones. And another flag down. Encroachment again on Pinson. And I don't know if they're going to move the football or not. He's checking to see if they want to decline it. They'll decline it and just kick it right here.
Pinson Valley.
You're set up. This is what you're used to. Just decline it.
Yeah, if you're not going to go for 2, which there's no need at this point, you don't want to move everybody around. So Jones kicks it up, and it's good. So Hueytown back on top, 34-16 of Pinson Valley. You're watching the Jeff Coed TV Game of the Week.
It's an underrated job for everybody else, but for us, it's the best job in the world. Bus drivers are doing a tremendous job in receiving kids each day with a smile, sending them home each day with a smile, making a difference in their lives. You know, kids will remember some teachers, but they'll usually always remember their bus driver because the bus driver's with them for so long. I mean, so many years of their life.
Welcome back to Pinson Valley. The Spear in the middle of the field as they have the kickoff at the 13-yard line. That's Calhoun, and he dances and prances his way to the 31-yard line. So 17-yard return. Actually, that wasn't Calhoun. Again, that was Waldrop on the return. He's had one previously tonight. So at the 31, Pinson Valley will set it up again, trailing 34-16. There's a good look at Greg Patterson, head football coach of the Golden Gophers. Playoffs 5 straight years. This would be the 6th for Hueytown. Of course, they've been 9 in a row as a school.
Yeah, and it's a team that is winning games when they make it to the playoffs too. And so is Pinson Valley. Again, we were talking about them sitting here on 1-8. This will be the first year they've missed the playoffs since 2009. So they're not used to being in this position, and I don't expect it to become a trend for this program by any means. That's why they have 3 state championship years over there on the scoreboard. So I expect a turnaround from Pinson Valley next year.
Freeman makes one-man duck on the rush, still trying to get away. Still not down. He'll lose 3. Could have lost about 10. It's finally dragging him down. It's Jaquan Rogers.
And that play isn't just impressive because of how he was maneuvering and getting away from sacks, but it's also knowing when to give up because he could have forced something or ran backwards 10 more yards. Said, hey, take a 2-yard loss and move on. You broke a couple of tackles. You saved a 7-yard loss, made it a 2-yard loss, and now it's just ready for second down.
But look how big. That's a big Pinson Valley line, but Hueytown's so quick on their front 4, and they're bringing pressure with their blitz packages, really making it difficult. Second down 12. That's great ball handling by Freeman. Hands to Calhoun. He's got the first down. Give half the credit to Freeman as he dropped back with that sleight of hand and handed it to Calhoun for a 14-yard gain.
Yeah, and I'm not taking any credit from Calhoun, but I give the other half of the credit to the play call. I mean, the draw will stop that blitz just as much as any kind of swing pass. And it wasn't even a blitz, just 4 guys. The linebackers dropped so quickly there was a ton of space.
Handoff conventional now to Calhoun. He's so slippery running through there. Another 8-yard gain. He has great success. He's not a big guy, but great success running between the tackles as he does outside the tackles.
Yeah, that's you watch this offense and watch him run the ball, and you think, how is this team not better?
Exactly.
I mean, I think
they've got weapons, right?
We've seen it that there's certainly issues on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
But, yeah, you watch him run, and you think, why can't he get as many touches as he can? Yeah.
Throw in Edwards and Thomas at wide receiver, and Freeman looking again. Got a jersey, and he was going to be dropped right there. Coming in hard, Jaquan Rogers, defensive end. So they're going to lose 9 on that one. So 2nd and 2 is now 3rd and 11.
And then you see a play like that, and you remember there is still some issues with this offense. And now,
I can't figure out why, because they're not small.
Hueytown's defensive line is
really good. And they're quick.
Good. And we saw that against Clay Chalkville, a team that might be, a top 3 favorite to win the 6A title. Hueytown's defensive line still made plenty of noise against that team.
Yeah.
So this is a very good defensive line. And that's what they do. They might give up plays, but they're going to get those yards right back by getting negative plays on you.
Relentless pursuit by Hueytown. 3rd down and 12. Freeman throws the screen. It's picked off. Getting his mitts on it and running it all the way back is big. Number 90, Donovan Moore. Touchdown. Wow. Either Moore or Rogers tipped it. Moore ended up with it. Let's see if we can tell. Nope, it was number 0, Jordan Jackson, that got his hands on it. And that is Moore for the touchdown. He fumbled it in the end zone, but I think he'd already crossed.
This is just like Falcons game, last week, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I want the pylon cam. I want to see if that ball was out before. I don't know if we have that technology. Maybe next year if we can put that on the list.
Yeah, right.
Pylon I'm getting a no.
Executive producer John Huddleston says, in your dreams, man. We're doing good with what we got, right?
Hey, it was a great shot. It almost showed us what happened.
Extra point is up a good 41-16 now. Hueytown's exploded for 40 points, and I bet they don't have 20 offensive plays. You think? Maybe.
I can get you the exact number here in a second.
Maybe 20 offensive plays? Because they've scored already on a kickoff return and an interception return. So that's 14 of their 41.
14 offensive snaps.
14 offensive snaps, and they have 41 points. I've never heard of that. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
I'm a little scared of how long we're going to be here tonight if that ratio keeps up.
That's unbelievable. And some of those snaps were with the backup quarterback.
Yeah. Now that possession didn't go too great for
14.
14.
Wow. That's really kind of unheard of, isn't it?
And they're still not going to get any more because they're about to give the ball up. They only have 5 drives. And this is about to be Hueytown's 8th.
Jesus Sosa kicks it away. That's going to bound out of bounds. So that'll be a flag. And Pinson Valley will have the football with 1:51 to go in this first half. And again, to your point, Pinson Valley has shown talent offensively. They've shown they're kind of coming together now the last 2 or 3 drives, moving the football. But if you can't stop anybody, it's still going to be a long night.
Yeah, it's these negative plays. We pretty much said it from the very first drive. You can't have more negative plays than positive plays. And as good as some of the plays that Rico Freeman has made, that TJ Calhoun has made, when you put him up against these long kick returns and long punt returns and the interception now and the tackles for a loss and even just those 5-yard penalties, those are adding up way more, and that's why Hueytown is in front by 25 points.
So Freeman and his teammates get out there. He'd love to get a little bit more resistance from the Indian offensive line, which, again, is very big. I mean, those guys are large. You're talking about Eric Long, Caden Baker, Gabe Landau, Isaiah Eugene, Kendall Hughes. There goes Freeman, escapes, and he'll have a first down. It might be face mask there, but they didn't throw a flag. So a nice 15-yard run from the 35 to the 50. He certainly can do that.
Yeah, he can only escape so much. I think we've seen that, but and maybe that's from a coaching perspective. They're giving him the go-ahead to try to get out of that pocket as quickly as possible, because when he does get out quick, he's gaining yards. When he sits a little longer, that's when disasters are happening in the backfield.
And another flag and another illegal procedure. That's happening too often. You can't, much less beat, you can't hang with a good team if you continue to do that.
Yeah, you look.
How many is that on there?
They only have 45 yards worth of penalties in this game, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it's 9 5-yard penalties. These are adding up
and at the wrong time.
Yeah, every time it's like, oh, you get a first down. Well, now it's 1st and 15.
Yeah,
and that just sets you behind the change, and that has been the issue with this offense.
Not that they ever come at a great time, right? Freeman hesitates, throws on the run, had a guy doing the toe touch, but unable to get it. That's Waldrop over there. He was going to get 10 of it back, but he couldn't quite stab the football.
Yeah, that's a good throw. Again, on the run to his left, tight spiral, put it where he needed to.
He should have had that. That's an excellent throw.
It's a tough catch.
By Freeman,
I mean, you're
and
focusing
excellent camera work.
You're focusing on two things at once, right? And I don't even know if his toes would have been down if he secured it when that ball got to him. But, yeah, focus on the catch first, worry about the toes after.
Yep. Good throw and good try, but at the end of the day, 2nd and 15. Freeman keeping it around in. Somehow got around again. Now the flag down. They're going to call unnecessary roughness, I think. Just a little extra shove from Jeffrey Garrett, the safety coming up. It wasn't malicious, but just enough to push him when he's a couple of yards out of bounds.
Yeah, I think it was maybe a little bit just extra force that he used to throw him to the ground.
After play, personal foul, defense, 15 yards, first down.
Dead ball.
And you'll give up 15.
Lady out of bounds.
But certainly no intent to harm Freeman at all. Just frustration play there. So that's a first down for the Indians now at the Hueytown 36-yard line. 1:01 to go in the first half. Again, Hueytown with 41 points on 14 offensive plays. Freeman drops over the middle, just threw it a little high for Christian Thomas. He was there in between the zone, but he threw it a little high.
Yeah, it almost looked like Freeman got caught between two receivers. He had a deep post pattern that, and we've seen him throw the ball that far. If you let him into the end zone, we know he has that arm. But I think you're right. I think it was intended to go to the receiver across the middle, and it was just overthrown. Just happened to fall right in between two receivers who were both open.
2nd down and 10. Freeman's a little winded. You can see him huffing and puffing down there. He's been a lot of this offense for the Indians so far tonight.
And they've been on the field for what seems like ever in this second quarter. Even though Hueytown has 3 touchdowns in this quarter alone, 2 of them were one defense and one special teams, obviously.
Freeman drops a little bit better protection now. Finally, here comes pressure. Throws it up. 2 receivers, 1 guy coming down with it is Calhoun. He might have been trying to hit Moffitt. Calhoun came and stole it, so that's a first down. Take a look.
Yeah, I mean, he had 2 guys over there. Just throw it up and hope you get it. Oh, I think he might have gone away with one there. That's good camera work. We saw the I think we pretty clearly saw that ball hit the ground, but still counts as a 12-yard gain.
Anything. Football at the 25. Freeman over the middle, one-on-one coverage. Do they have it? Or is it intercepted? Did they give it to him?
Yeah.
Thomas
Looks
has
like
it.
They gave it to him.
Okay.
Freeman pass complete to number 15.
So that's a 18-yard gain there. Boy, was that on time and on target. Great camera work, great pass, Freeman to Christian Thomas on that play. So Pinson Valley just moving it down the field.
It's our cameraman also having to recover from the play before. Still getting in position to get both of them.
Freeman drops again, runs straight up the middle, and ran right into the arms of Donovan Moore, but the clock is about to melt away. 2 seconds to go. So this will be the final play of the half. Timeout, Pinson Valley. So James Thompson will try to get his best play from about 11 yards out to try to score a touchdown here to make it 41-22. It's 41-16 right now. There's Greg Patterson, the head coach of Hueytown. Got his Gophers back in the playoffs in a home game for Hueytown. He's not sure how good his team is. He says our region's not the greatest. It's pretty good. You got McAdory there, them. Northside made it. And he got beat by really good football teams. Clay Chalkville, we saw that one. Hillcrest, Mountain Brook. He knows he's got a good football team, but he don't know how good. So we're going to find out.
Yeah,
Here's the playoffs begin.
I think that Hillcrest loss, I mean, you're looking at like how much better were you than last year? Because Hillcrest is a team that won that region the past 2 seasons before moving up, and you think, well, would we have won it if Hillcrest was still in our region?
Right.
You suffer a loss like that.
Freeman drops. There goes pressure again over the middle. Is that a touchdown? Yes. How about the pass, the dart to Waldrop over the middle? dodging the rusher to get it off. Look at that.
That blitz is exactly what they dialed up on 4th and short early in the quarter. He was just a little bit more ready for it. The blitz got there. The blitz got home. He made the first man miss. A little bit of a sidearm underneath, zipping that ball in there. That's a great catch. I mean, he zipped that ball in there. There's some speed behind that throw.
We have 63 points in this first half.
Go for the 2-point conversion.
And we still are seeing if we got 2 more coming. Freeman rolling, pressure. They're getting tired of chasing after him, and he's sacked right there. Jordan Jackson said enough of this. We're going to timeout, but 63 points scored in this first half, if you can believe that. So, Chris is going to try to commandeer one of the coaches here as they head into the locker room. Unbelievable half, 41-22. Here from Will Adams Stadium here, home of the previous 6A state champion Indians. 3 times they have that honor on their field. We got both bands we'll be showing in just a moment, but we're going to get the halftime interview coming up here in just a second as the bands are preparing their way on the field. And all right, there we go with Chris. He's got Greg Patterson right now. Chris.
All right, thanks, Scott. So, Coach Patterson, you guys are pretty much in control. How do you keep your foot on the gas?
We just need to clean up mistakes, and we keep giving up big plays defensively and letting them kind of stay in it and move the ball down the field. I'm not real happy about that. We're not playing playoff football against their passing game right now.
And that was my next question. Is this a good tune-up for your next week playoff game?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we try to do, but we can't make the mistakes we're making and expect to go win a playoff game against a really good team. So, you know, we got to fix ourselves. It's not about who we're playing as much the second half as it is fixing our mistakes.
All right, thanks, Coach. I'll let you get to your team. All right, Scott, back to you.
All right, it's been an entertaining game, I'll tell you that. 41 points of 14 plays, 41-22, 63 points here in our final game of the year. It's been very entertaining. We got another half to go. There's a good look at the Hueytown Golden Gopher band. And we're going to let you enjoy some halftime festivities with Hueytown as well as Pinson Valley here as we take a break.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our superintendent, Dr. Walter Gosselin, and our principal, Mr. Michael Turner,
Hello, Jeff Coed family. We are excited to announce our signature academies. Here's what you can look forward to.
ACE. The Jeff Coed Academy for College Excellence is a school within a school model.
This partnership is one that will allow those students to not only get just college credit while they're in high school, but it will also allow them to potentially complete their high school diploma and the associate degree from Lawson State at the same time. And that is an exciting opportunity for our students.
The goal of ACE would be to encourage more students to see college as an option for themselves and to assist them in successfully negotiating the college path and experience.
It's a great class to learn how to do things for life.
They will learn how to do some electrical work at home, how to do some of their own plumbing, and how to maintain their yard, shrubbery, and what it is to plant a garden. So there's certain things they learn here that they'll take with them and use in life.
I like culinary arts because I like trying new things and learning to make things for my family.
Push down the tabs on either side of the stick of RAM.
There should be 3 certificates they can get when they come out of the base school program, and then when they get into the actual cybersecurity program at Jeff State, they will have so many more opportunities. We will get PC Pro or CompTIA A+ in our base class, then a Network Fundamentals, and also a Cyber Security Plus certification.
The other one has a spacer, so
learn that one and then move back.
We make cool things, get to try cool things, play the robots.
Hi, my name is Mr. Screws. I'm the Visual Arts teacher at the Special Effects Academy. Our program for special effects is the only special effects class in the entire southeastern United States.
It just lets me feel myself.
And this is just the beginning. Jeff Coed's Signature Academies. Learn today and experience forever.
Let's give it up for your Pinson Valley marching team.
Welcome back to Pinson Valley here. Scott Griffin, Caleb Turrentine, our entire great crew here for the second half of Pinson Valley and the Hueytown Golden Gophers. Hueytown in control early, 21-0. Pinson Valley got untracked a little bit. They did score 3 touchdowns, but Hueytown's come out with a kickoff return for a touchdown, an interception return for a touchdown, 14 offensive plays, 41 first half points.
Yeah, you're spotting them a 21-0 lead, and then you're matching touchdown for touchdown. You can't do that afterward. I mean, yes, you have some momentum on offense, and you got to feel good about that. But there's more to it. You got to find a way to get defensive stops to truly get back into this game.
No doubt about that. And Pinson Valley's made some plays, but not enough good plays to really get back into the game on a serious fashion. But they are playing football, better football, and they're scoring points, which they've been not really able to do except for 2 games this year. This is kind of a pleasant surprise for James Thompson, I think.
Yeah, we'll say there's other people paying attention to Pinson Valley as well.
Let's go to Chris down on the sidelines. He's got Coach.
All right, guys, thanks for throwing it down here. We've got the head coach. Coach, obviously the scoreboard not indicative of how you guys are playing. You had lots of opportunities. How do you come back?
Man, we just got to get one stop at a time right here. All right, defense is out in the field first. All right, we got to cover this kick, get one stop at a time. We got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. Every time we get something positive, then something bad happens. All right, so we got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. It's going to start with one stop at a time, start with this series right here.
Coach, you've had some big plays from your impact players. What did you say to them in the locker room?
We just got to keep making plays. We feel like we can keep scoring. They're giving us exactly what we thought they would give us. We just got to get stops. We have to get stops. One stop at a time. That's the main focus right here. One stop at a time and try to crawl our way back into this game.
All right, thanks, Coach. I'll let you get back to your team. All right, guys, back up top to you.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Try to get some stops. Caleb, what's some of the scores that you've got over there that's interest to you?
Well, I think one thing we talked about before the show was that 3-way tiebreaker between Garndale, Minor, and Mortimer Jordan. All 3 of them playing tonight. Non-region games that'll make a difference in the playoff seeding. Unfortunately, all 3 of them are currently trailing. Garndale's down against Spain Park 21-3 now in the third quarter. They led that game 3-0 after 1. Hartselle up 14-0 on Mortimer Jordan, and Northridge leads 35-0 against Minor. So if all 3 of those teams lose, by my count, when we're talking about tiebreaker, Minor would currently get the 3 seed, which would give Mortimer Jordan the 4 seed. And Garndale would be out of the playoffs for the first time in the Chad Eads era, but and even longer than that. And then a couple other games that are up there. Vestavia Hills up 21-7 on Clay Chalkville right now. And Briarwood beating McAdory 28-14. Briarwood started 0-5. They haven't lost since we saw them play.
Yeah,
they won't play. They won't make the playoffs, but they haven't lost.
Right.
Since we saw them.
They took a 2-corner in one of our games of the week, and they've been really good since then. And they're really better than their record indicated, for sure. All right, so Hueytown won the opening kick, and they get the second half kick. There's Brooks ending up with it in his hands, and he may be gone down the left sideline. 50, 45. Brooks, he'll get a block, and that'll be it. I don't see any flags. And immediately at the second half, with the ball bouncing around on a squabbly kick. Brooks takes it to the house.
Yeah, and he was in the middle of a huddle there, and everyone caught themselves ball chasing instead of staying in their lane. And we saw how he was faster than everyone on Pinson Valley's kick coverage team earlier. He knew what to do. Get to the outside, run up the sideline. He needed a couple of blocks, but he did a lot of the work himself. And that I thought I was going to explain the craziest thing, going over that tiebreaker, and here we are 19 seconds into the half. Another touchdown already without an offensive snap.
Yeah, so if Jones makes this kick, it's 48 points in 14 offensive plays. 2 kickoff return touchdowns and a interception return for a touchdown. 48 to 22 on a kick that looked like it was kind of chaotic. Everybody would gather to the middle. Brooks just said, I'm out of here. He took the ball and said, I'm going over here where there's no people on this outside, and that was it.
Yeah, and that's I think that's something that Hueytown has shown. Once they get the edge, they do have that advantage, a little slight advantage in speed, pretty much on everyone except for apparently Rico Freeman. But against Pinson Valley's defense, they have the advantage in speed, and when they get space, they haven't been slowed down. Once they get past the line of scrimmage on offense or the first line of tacklers on any kind of return, they had the long punt return earlier.
Yeah.
They had long kick returns. They had an interception return. They're doing everything right now, it seems like.
2 kick returns, an interception, and then some explosive plays, as Caleb just talked about. And I don't think the offense has gotten sweaty yet. And it's not that cold of a night. There's a kick again by Sosa. It is grounded by Waldrop, who, boy, this time he's not going to have anywhere to go. Flags are down. Very late flag back here.
Flag on the play.
And might be a face mask. We'll see. But he threw that from 60 yards away.
Face mask. It looks like it's going to be called on the blocking. He threw that. But I mean, you're right. He was at midfield, and that tackle was made at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, they're talking about it now. But it came out very late. Now they're waving it off. Okay, because he threw it well after the tackle had been made, way back here at the 40-yard line.
That's good officiating, getting together and saying, we had 3 guys have a better look at it than you did. We said it wasn't face mask. Pocket it, move on.
So, first down and 10 for Pinson Valley at the 17-yard line. Again, coming out of the locker room, you're all fired up because you've scored and you're already down another score.
Yeah, and
after a kickoff.
In that first half, Pinson Valley had 194 yards of offense. Hueytown only had 186.
Yeah.
Because they weren't taking that many offensive snaps.
On the outside, and not a lot of running room over there. Treeland Thompson leading the way for the Golden Gophers, and he might get a yard. I really love Calhoun, who's now limping there a little bit. And with him and Thompson and Edwards and Freeman, they do have playmakers offensively.
Yeah, it seems like they have something that is working, and I don't know how many exactly of them are coming back. I know Freeman is a junior, and I understand shifting him into the quarterback position, thinking you can set something up for next year. And so far, it looks like it's working.
Yep, it was off the fingertips of Travion Edwards, who had a great catch earlier in the game, but he couldn't pull that one in because you could see the zip Freeman could put on the football right there.
Yeah, and he's also shown off touch on the deep passes. Again, he does have that interception. That's a play that was tipped in the backfield, and not necessarily an inadvised throw. You know, that's something
just
you probably
a good play, right?
Something you live with probably. But he seems like he's making right decisions, putting the ball where he needs to, and obviously making a lot of plays with his legs too. So
good look at Ja'Quarius Brooks there, who had that kickoff return. Freeman drops. His eyes drop, looks at the rush because it's inevitable, and he's tackled, and they're going to get a free first down on that because Jordan Jackson tackled him a couple of yards out of bounds, and they'll get the benefit of that.
Yeah, and I think that's a call that probably comes because someone already had him out of bounds. It wasn't necessarily super late. It was
No,
certainly
it was
when he
kind
was
of like
out of
this
bounds.
other one, right?
Right,
Yeah.
but it was a second guy
Yeah.
coming in and making a hit that was completely unnecessary.
What? There's no malice,
Yeah.
intended. Just a very late play. But Pinson Valley will take it. On the personal foul, they'll get the 15 yards and have the football at the 33-yard line against the Golden Gophers.
And technically their first third down conversion of the night.
And they'll take it any way they can get it, right? 1st and 10. Moffitt now flanking. Brand new quarterback in for Pinson Valley. They hand to Moffitt around the left side, and he's not getting very far at all. Xander Scott was there. Khalil White was there. And that was Jamison Green in for Pinson Valley now. The senior quarterback, trying to get him a few snaps on his last home game.
I didn't see Freeman come out injured or anything, but that was on that late hit that he came out on. Looks like he just got checked. He's back standing there at the line of scrimmage on the sideline now.
To the scoreboard with his mother on Michelle Spencer report to the scoreboard. Thank you.
So Green again, still in at quarterback, 2nd down and 10. Hand to Moffitt inside, nothing. Totally nothing. That big defensive tackle duo, Donovan Moore, Jaquan Rogers, they're just really good up front.
And trying to go through the heart of that defense with a small running back is tough to do, and that's, again, why you look at a guy like T.J. Calhoun and think what he does is even more impressive, even when it is just, 5-yard gains.
3rd down and 10.
Nothing comes easy against the Hueytown front seven.
Now, 2 runs by Moffitt have garnered nothing. Moore, now he'll face that Hueytown pressure and just throw it away. He wasn't as pressured, but he hasn't played in the game, so got a little rattled early, and that injury to Freeman kind of cost them a little momentum.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that Freeman comes back in on the next snap. I don't know if that was planned, like, as you mentioned. Get
He is a senior,
Green.
we don't know, but that's an odd place for him to come in.
Yeah, I agree. Either start the half with them or go to another time. That's why I think there was
not
probably
in the middle of a drive, right?
a little bit maybe of a knock or something. We saw Freeman standing up on the sideline afterwards, so he looked fine, but maybe just give Jamison Green the –
let him play out the series.
Yeah.
48-22, Christian Thomas on to kick. Good look at Thomas, who has a touchdown. Boy, great kick. Goes over the head and chasing it down for Hueytown. And sliding down is Anton Witt, the freshman. Made a nice job of chasing it down. I thought it might have a chance to bounce inside the 10. Bringing art to students who otherwise might not have a chance to be exposed to it. That's the mission behind the new Jeffco Ed art truck. We cut the ribbon on the truck after last week's board meeting. This is really cool. It's a mobile classroom that will go to schools where there is currently not a full-time art teacher. It's equipped with the latest technology and provides hands-on learning. The Department of Art Education even designed a special curriculum for the truck. That looks like a very cool deal. Students will get to have fun with that. There's that fake toss off the right side that Ellington really got a lot of yardage on earlier. That time he got 7 before he was drugged down.
I think that was Powell who took that snap, and now they're going
Oh, it was. You're right.
even further back and maybe running just a little bit of wildcat, trying to run as much clock as possible here.
Actually, Robinson with the snap.
They're just trying to get that snap count up. They heard our comments. They want a little bit more time on offense. They haven't gotten a lot, so.
Now Powell comes back in on 3rd down and 4. Powell, the backup junior quarterback. He played one series earlier in this game. Boy, he thought there was an out pattern there, and then he brought it down. He's going to run for the first down across the 50 and drug down at the 44-yard line. So, 18-yard gain, and you see him there. He faked everybody up.
Yeah, and we can go back and say that that's Hueytown's first third down conversion as well. They faced one third down in the first half. So, 1 for 2 now.
First down and 10. Powell still in the game. It's a 48-22 football game right here. Hueytown in control. They've been in control since jumping out to a 21-0 first quarter lead. But Pinson Valley has fought back. Powell over the middle, wide open, caught in the hands beautifully, still on his feet, and just fell down. Wow. So that was a nice strike there as he found his receiver, Jaquez Daniel, the senior.
Yeah, I mean, to break the tackle that he broke and to stay on his feet and then get tripped up by the turf
weird,
puncher,
right?
you know he's frustrated
Yeah.
with that one. And it's funny, I was just about to mention, if they don't score on that play, this is now their longest drive of the night, play number 5 of a drive.
Powell drops, looking. He's going to run it now, 15, and falls forward to the 12-yard line. So he'll get 6 yards on that play. So even with the backup quarterback, Hueytown moving the football right here. They didn't previously in his one series, but now finding that rhythm. Now he's going to go out to wide receiver, and they've got Quintrell Jackson and Anthony Robinson in the backfield. Robinson, the starting tailback. And looks like they're changing the play a little bit, restructuring it. Robinson pointing at Jackson, telling him to get on the right side. Got it, and that play was messed up from the beginning. Took too long, a lot of jumping around, and Robinson on the Wildcat gets dumped for a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, good heads-up play to find the ball. It looked like the snap might have gone off the leg of a blocker, maybe a guard pulling. Something happened before the ball could even get to Robinson on that one.
Powell back in. Good look at the junior that will all likelihood be the quarterback next year for Hueytown. You never know these days with transfers. High school is about as bad as college. Powell got a man open, and he tried to find him, but it was knocked away. Good play by Pinson Valley as he was trying to find Daniel again. Now, I didn't catch the number of who knocked it away, but a good play. Right there.
That's a good play. I thought for a second he might have had his chance to intercept the ball.
I don't know if it was Jalen Lewis or Jalen Lewis, we think, is the safety that got over there. In any event, Sosa is on for the longer field goal. How about a field goal to go with this game of 60, 70 points now? High snap, Sosa got it down. It is up and good. He barely got it over the crossbar, but now Hueytown is in the 50s. 51 to 22. The Golden Gophers on top. You're watching the Jeff Cohen TV Game of the Week. Welcome back to the Game of the Week. Sosa will kick it away, and Waldrop has it on the short end of the field and brings it across the middle, and he'll get out to the 33-yard line, looks like. So we'll give him a 15-yard return on that one. It'll be 1st and 10 Indians. And we'll see if Freeman comes out or if Mr. Green comes out again.
8-play drive. 8-play drive for Hueytown.
That's an eternity for these guys.
I'm sure that defense,
so
that offensive line,
8 plays was more than half more than they had all in the first half to score 41 points.
That's correct. And they finished with a field goal. That's the drive that they got held on, was an 8-play drive.
Football makes no sense. Rico Freeman's back in to try to make some sense of this game. 51-22. Handoff Calhoun. He's corralled right there. Coming up hard, Stanley from the outside backer position, number 32.
Yeah, with those 10 straight points to start the second half, being back in control, I'm wondering if Hueytown starts to filter in a little bit more backups as we near the end of the third quarter. Certainly you'll see it in the fourth quarter. But how quickly does that happen for them? Not just thinking of a 30-point lead, 29-point lead, but thinking about next week and staying healthy and staying fresh.
Freeman got the play in. Moffitt is flanked to his left. Little toss. That's a completed pass to Calhoun. He's down the sidelines, lowers his shoulder, and gets even more. They'll mark him on the 49. That's an 18-yard gain for Calhoun.
Yeah. Pinson Valley, first down.
Really runs well for the Pinson Valley.
They get the ball to everyone in so many different ways that I think that's the part that they do well with this team, certainly as well as you can hope for with the way their offense has struggled at times this year.
Calhoun just a junior, so he'll be back next year. Again, assuming he doesn't go anywhere, right? 1st down and 10 from the 49. Fake to Moffitt. They had everybody going there, and Freeman, if it wasn't the short side of the field, he could have turned the corner. But he ran out of real estate. Some Gophers chased him around, and he got a couple.
Play picks up 3 yards.
Yeah, Freeman and Calhoun both coming back, for a senior year. And if you expect it to be here at Pinson Valley, that's a backfield that this experience is vital for them.
Oh, that's great.
And being able to take snaps together and figure out the offense and work well together from what we've seen tonight. That's something that, teams are going to look at and say, this is an offense that can threaten any defense. Not just the, teams they're supposed to compete with.
Hueytown in their 3-3-5 basic set, and they hand to Moffitt on that run, and he'll get a tough couple of yards there.
Number 44, Moffitt.
You don't see many people that run the 3-down lineman, the pure 3-3-5 with Rover.
And that's what's amazing about what makes them so good up front. When you're playing 3-man front, it's harder to stop the run.
Yeah.
And because of how big they are and how quick they are, that combination makes it hard to go between the tackles against them because of their size, but they're quick enough to cover the edge.
Short 5, and they've thrown it over the middle to Calhoun. He's got the 1st down. We'll see where they mark him. He's to the 27, so 17-yard strike. Freeman to Calhoun.
They really are going to get him the ball in as many ways as they can right now. And I can't blame him. Why not?
He's their best running back, and he's fast becoming their best, at least slot hot route receiver, right?
And if you trust Moffitt to be that guy in the backfield, it should open up more space for him.
Freeman sent Moffitt out. He's going to run now, running out of room. All he sees is white jerseys, and he falls down.
Oh, that's
he's going to lose two.
That's a play that I think you saw some coaches on the sidelines say they saw that play work. If he had stayed in the pocket just a little bit longer, that wheel route was on to Calhoun. It was a little fake to the left or to the right with the motion. He had a wheel route going over the cornerback who was playing tight on him, and it was going to be there, but he just didn't give it enough time. He might not have had enough time to make it work, but again, he bailed on that pocket pretty quickly.
Another touch pass to Waldrop this time, and he'll get down to the 7-yard line, just past where the original line of scrimmage was. So it'll be 3rd down and 10.
Third down.
Again, to the short side of the field, running out of real estate, that pursuit from Hueytown. I don't know where Inslee came from. Hueytown.
This is a play that Hueytown has blitzed on often.
Yes. They got 4 up there now. And still got 9 or 10 around the line. And here comes the blitz, as you call it. Freeman escapes. He's got a man wide open. He would have gone in for the touchdown, but Waldrop will be down on the 2-yard line on the 25-yard pass. Great play by Freeman.
Yeah, really good play. Once again, it's that blitz. If you can make that first guy miss on a blitz, you're going to find an option because there are guys down the field that will not be covered. I think you hope the receiver settles under that, understands how much time he has. Catch it.
Yeah.
Be careful with it. Catch it. Secure the catch and run in.
Definitely had a touchdown, an easy one.
Probably made it a little tougher than it needed to be.
Yeah. But a good escapability by Freeman, finding him on the blitz by Simpson. Then there goes Freeman up the middle. Not much happening there. Football's out, and I think it's down. Stanley had come on that blitz, and he had sidestepped him and found Waldrop down the field on that previous play. Just a beautiful play by the junior quarterback.
That's the end of the
third quarter. We'll take a break. You're watching the Jeff Coed TV Game of the Week.
Hello, Jeff Coed family. I'm Dr. Beth Miller, Director of Child Nutrition. This school year, we are thrilled to offer free breakfast and lunch at no cost to all students enrolled in in-person learning. As a community eligibility provision district, we encourage all families to take advantage of this opportunity. Our child nutrition program is devoted to providing healthy and nutritious meals to help fuel our students for a day of learning and growth. From crispy Crispitos to fruits and vegetables, it will all be available for free. If a student would like an extra item, those may be purchased. Again, we encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity so we can continue to provide in future years. So let's seize the day and shape the future this 2024-25 school year.
All right, welcome back to the fourth quarter of our final game here for, at least football game, for Jefferson County Education School System Television Game of the Week. We've had a good week. Hueytown has been the bookend team for us. They started off against Clay Chapel. Clay Chapel won that one, and now we're seeing them in the final game, how much they've improved against Pinson Valley. But hoping to keep Pinson Valley out of the end zone, whistle. Moffitt was trying to get in for the touchdown, but that play will be stopped. Offside, Hueytown this time. So Pinson Valley will edge a little bit closer to pay dirt there.
Second and goal.
Seems like they might, either they're waiting for a play call, the players are looking down. I don't know if it's a player
play,
or,
right?
I would think.
I mean,
maybe if you had a pass play called from the 2, you're saying let's not mess with that now?
Yeah, you're a yard closer. I would run that play again.
Pretty far back there in the eye.
It is in the eye. Freeman, I don't know if he lost the football because he fell straight down. It looked like, instead of forward, he's not in yet.
Jalen Hurts makes that look pretty easy. It's not as simple as just pushing forward. You got to get the snap cleanly.
Play picks up 1 yard.
Third down and goal.
Third and goal.
And I can't see the football, but I know it's close. There it is right there.
The 1 yard line.
About what, a foot or 2?
Might be in right now with the way the center's holding it.
High snap, negotiated. Moffitt is in for the touchdown. So Moffitt gets in, the junior running back. And that makes it 51-28 now. as Moffitt plays power football. Good job by that offensive line over there. Isaiah Eugene, Jamaris Maxwell, and others.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who will tell you, why aren't you under center, why aren't you under center? Well, a lot of these teams don't practice under center, so take that shotgun snap, get a clean handoff, get into the end zone.
Freeman will try on the other side. Oh, he got knocked down. He was going to make it, it looked like, but he rudely got knocked down just short of the goal line by number 30. I thought it was 37. No, 30. Let's see. No, 33. Xander Scott got him on that one, on the hard hit right before the goal line. So
I don't want to keep bringing it up, but that's another play where I think if we have a pylon cam, I think we get a clearer look at that. I thought he was in. I thought the nose of the football got in before he got hit by Scott. Very close play either way. Good job of staying with the play by Xander Scott. That's why he's a captain on this team.
51-28 now, Pinson Valley again. They've had trouble scoring points all year, except for a couple of weeks against Mountain Brook and Pell City, two playoff teams. And here they are against another playoff team, 2 points shy of getting 30 again. How do you figure?
I mean, I think you have to think that you have something figured out. Obviously, in a game like tonight, I mean, you're thinking, I'm helping our defense, but then the special teams doesn't have it figured out. I mean, that's 2 touchdowns that you think how different this game would feel if they didn't have the kickoff return and punt return for a touchdown.
Yeah, it's a much tighter field for sure.
And then just the way that the defense, like, there are issues on this team, and there is a reason that this team is still 1-9.
No doubt.
Or going to be 1-9. But this offense has weapons, and there's still a lot of talent at Pinson Valley, certainly. We see it pretty much in every sport that they play. So I expect them, again, to get it figured out.
And I think somebody's going to be offsides on that kick.
Flag on the play.
Christian Thomas was trying to do a squib kick.
Encroachment on the kicking team. 5 yards for re-kick.
And they'll kick it again. 5-yard penalty.
Offsides, Pinson Valley.
11:20 to go in this fourth quarter. Hueytown in control, but Pinson Valley has certainly made a game of it. There's a good look at Anthony Robinson, who's got a couple of touchdowns in this game. One of the deep men for Hueytown. And they'll go the other way with it, and that'll be Dedden, and that's a good play. Nice play on that far side. I think that was Samson Stanley, the outside linebacker who fell on it. Weird to have a linebacker on the hands team.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just our normal kickoff crew out there. I like the way they take an onside kick.
Yeah.
And high school level, you know, obviously hands team aren't going to be as secure at a college or NFL level. So kick it real hard at him, and you might get a bounce, but you might just have him drop it. And he struggled with that ball, but it probably went just a little too far before anyone could get there.
So Jaden Powell, the backup quarterback, the junior's in. His first half series not so good. The last series, touchdown drive. They hand off. That's Kelly. He's around the left end, and he'll get to the 45-yard line for an 8-yard gain. So obviously the goal-to-go for offensive line is doing yeoman's work. Gavin Penny, Gerald Owens, Brian Youngblood, Brian Obando, Gage Patrick, all doing some big work up there.
Yeah, and even though Ellington is out, it's pretty much the rest are starters for Hueytown out there still. I'm a little surprised, but again, it's Patterson's way of getting them ready for the playoffs. He's done this before, and he knows how to finish regular seasons. That's for sure.
Yeah, and the game's secure right now, for sure. So handoff Kelly again, the backup running back. He'll have the first down and more. Still not satisfied, and they'll blow it dead near the 40. So a nice 5-yard run for him. Caleb's phone is getting
just had a little bit of bug
deluge
problem.
with
It's
spiders
fine.
over here, so we had to get rid of the granddaddy long leg.
They're still in the Halloween spirit.
Yeah. First down and 10 for the Golden Gophers from their 41-yard line.
Going to see a lot more of this sitting on the ball. The play clock's being kept on the field.
Carter Pritchett in at running back now. They fake it to him, and look at the long strides of Powell as he gets in the secondary from the 41 down to the 24-yard line. 17-yard run for Powell.
Long strides. We're just talking about a spider up here. You're talking about long legs.
Yeah.
Freaking me out. That's what
Very good ball fake as well. Let's give him credit for that too. First down and 10. He should be the quarterback next year, all things considered. Getting some playing time now. Letting the play clock run down. Pitches it to Pritchett around end. Breaks one tackle. 20, 15. Pritchett, the third team running back, is down to the 12-yard line. And that's a 12-yard gain. Good hard running.
They sell that pitch so well with the fake that even when it's a real pitch, you're expecting the fake. Every motion is the same. It's just really, really well done, and it's hard to read and figure out where that ball is going to be every play.
So first and 10 for the Gophers, up 51-28. With 8:19 and the clock melting here, and they're taking their time, obviously, running clock. I haven't seen the play clock work yet over here.
Be kept by the back judge down there. You'll see his arm go up when it gets to 10.
Yeah. Handoff Pritchett left side now, and he'll be inside the 10. So we're going to give him a 4-yard gain on that to the 9-yard line. Greg Patterson's team doing some ball control, some power football here, taking control of the line of scrimmage offensively.
And this will be the 14th snap of the second half now. So we are at the point. How many snaps they had in the first half?
14.
And then only 10 points this time so far. Unless, of course, they score on this snap.
They can get a first down if they get to the 3.
That's really a dream come true for our coach.
The 4, actually. And I think they didn't know who wanted to run it there. Powell didn't want to give it up. Pritchett wanted to take it, and he did. And it didn't get a lot going on. By all the time that happened, Pinson Valley was in on it.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like the offensive line might have had the wrong scheme. They all shifted out to the right side.
Something was off about that play.
Like almost sold the counter too much.
Third down and about 8, we'll call it. Powell steps up, throws a sidearm. That's an easy touchdown. Did a nice job stepping up in the pressure, and then found Davion Green, the senior. He gets a score in the last regular season game. And now we're getting close to 60 over here for Hueytown.
Yeah, that's a good job of standing in there. That was the first time really Pinson Valley has brought a lot of blitz. You saw him stand in there, maybe do a little sidestep, but found a receiver wide open. And again, that's what happens. You're going to bring 6, 7 guys. Someone's going to be open, especially in zone coverage. Good job of finding the right guy and right at the goal line.
57-28. And now another kicker in for Hueytown. They're on their third string kicker. That's where we are with this game. 43 is not even on the roster. And it doesn't matter. He got tackled, or somebody got tackled over there. Powell did, because he was the holder. So the extra point attempt's no good. He didn't even get a chance to kick. We're down to players with no roster numbers is where we are. Well, they did the mash, the monster mash. Check this out. Yesterday at Gardendale High School, students with disabilities from middle and high schools throughout district demonstrated their dancing skills along with their friends at Gardendale. The annual Monster Mash put on by the Department of Exceptional Education. The Jeff Coed Exceptional Education Department has taken an active part in providing more inclusive experiences for students with significant disabilities. The Monster Mash is one of those many activities that provides opportunities for peers to participate in sports and recreational activities with students with disabilities.
Well, we've got a final from Spain Park, beating Gardendale 35-12. Hartselle defeated Mortimer-Joran 21-0, and Northridge is up on Minor by 45. But with those finals, Minor will be your 3 seed in that region. Mortimer-Joran will be the 4 seed after their win over Gardendale, and Gardendale is out of the playoffs for the first time in a decade.
Wow. Calhoun had missed the kick there, went bounding past him. He finally returned it, could only get it out to the 7-yard line. And that's where Pinson Valley will begin this series with 6:15 to go. This has been the most scoring game, I think, of our year here. 85 points, 57-28, and we still got 6 minutes to go.
And if it's anything like the 6 minutes that started the second quarter, we're in for quite a night. Might hit 100 total points.
Freeman's still in at quarterback, and they hand to a new running back, and he is rudely just shut down right there. Amari Davis, a sophomore defensive back, good-looking prospect, the sophomore, came up hard.
Yeah, I mean, you can be able to you come in for a snap as a defensive back. You're like, oh, we're winning by a lot. We might see some passes, might have a shot at an interception. The play recognition, getting to the backfield as quickly as he did to make that hit, really impressive play.
Barry Thomas is the running back. And now Freeman coming around the right end. He'll pick up some yardage before he's thrown down at the 14-yard line.
Freeman on the carry.
So 3rd down, and we'll call it 3.
They pick up 9 yards, brings up 3rd down.
5:12 to go in the football game.
Freeman nearing 200 passing yards. He's at 198, obviously 3 touchdowns through the air as well. His rushing stats maybe not as great just because of how many sacks he's had to take in, but he's still above 40 yards on the ground. So a good overall night from Freeman.
Freeman will drop, stays in the pocket, now runs. He can outrun that defense, and he's thrown out of bounds at the 21-yard line. That'll be enough for the first down on the 6-yard scramble.
Freeman up the middle for Pinson Valley. First down.
4:37 to go in the game. Pinson Valley would love to at least end this one with a drive, right? Feel good about the ending of this game and the fact to get over 30 points again.
Yeah,
which they would have done 3 of the last 4 games.
I don't know how much you think about that when you're in this kind of situation, right? I mean, you have to take your positives.
Yeah, where you get them, right? I mean,
yeah, and you can't just sit there and talk about how great the offense has been, because you can't put all the blame on defense. The offense has turned the ball over. The offense, is part of the field position battle. The special teams, everyone has a role out there. But you're right. I mean, there is something to say that, hey, you might have found a solution to the future of this offense, and that does feel good going into an offseason where you're hoping to see a lot of growth.
Still trying to sort out this penalty, which I didn't see till just a couple of seconds ago, on that first down run. So it looks like it's going against Pinson Valley as they're conferring with Greg Patterson, getting the lay of the land on the penalty.
So we had an unsportsmanlike conduct. I thought it was offsetting at first. I think they talked it out.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Pinson Valley. Another one of those, you got a first down, but now you have 1st and 20.
I guess that would be technically half the distance, right? Well, because it was a first down run,
they're
it was
moving the
after the
chains
play,
back, right.
the chains come back
Dead
too.
ball foul,
Okay,
right,
okay,
yeah.
okay. So
There you
still
go.
1st and 10.
But they lose
Still,
the yardage.
right.
Yeah. They lose 10 yardage. It was at the 21. Basically 10, about 8 yards.
Everybody is standing on the
But
fence.
these are the kind of
Please get off
mistakes
the fence.
Coach Thompson
Repeat.
wants to erase from this
Get off the
program.
fence.
Again, a very
Thank you.
proud program. Former state championship program not long ago. Freeman drops, going deep, trying to find a man, is caught. Christian Thomas has it. He is gone to the house. 87-yard touchdown.
Well, I think Rico Freeman has passed that 200-yard mark. He has got a deep ball, and the receivers are doing a great job of high pointing it, finding the ball right at the perfect time. We're about 45 yards through the air.
Thomas's second touchdown catch, right?
Yeah, 2 touchdown catches on just 3 catches, and that's 129 yards for him now through the air.
What a throw and catch by Thomas.
286 for Rico Freeman.
57-34. And we'll go to Chris after this 2-point attempt. So they're over 30 again for the 3rd time in 4 games.
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play. We got offsides
Hueytown.
against Hueytown. So it'll move it up a little bit.
2-point conversion.
So Pinson Valley, with all their mistakes, still has 34. Now Freeman comes out. Nope, Freeman is still in there. I'm sorry, Moffitt came in. They run the reverse to Waldrop, and he'll walk in. 2-point conversion, successful. 57-36. How about 93 points total on the Jeff Cohen TV Game of the Week? Let's go down to Chris on the sideline. Chris.
Hey, Scott and Caleb, it was, something for Pinson to be excited about, and there hadn't been a lot of energy over on that side of the sideline. Over here on the Hueytown side, the Golden Gophers obviously elated. One player saying, hey, this is the best week of my life. I've been player of the week. I've had 2 touchdowns and so forth and so on. But certainly Pinson Valley is not giving up. They're still continuing to fight, even with the small amount of time that's left. So a good time for younger players to get a chance to get in there, and we'll see what both of these schools have promising futures for next year, next season. Back to you guys.
Definitely like to see a team that's staying with it, calling play, and that's the coaching staff too, Caleb. They're calling plays. They're calling competitive plays. They're still coaching, even though the outcome of the game's not in doubt.
Yeah, and that wasn't just, a random.
Whoa! We got an onside kick. Sorry about that. It bounced off of Hueytown, and Pinson Valley has it. How about that?
I
They
told you,
bounced
if
it off.
if
They
these 6
bounced
minutes.
it off Drayden Foster, the wide receiver,
Pinson Valley recovered the
and it was
fumble.
recovered. I'm
And-
sorry.
and
Go
no,
ahead.
I mean, if these 6 minutes are anything like those 6 minutes in the second quarter, and so far they have been. Hey, if I'm Pinson Valley, I don't see why I don't just get out there and take another shot to the end zone, right? I mean, why not?
93 points. Get a touchdown, we'll get 100 points tonight. 4 minutes to go.
Oh, and I just know that there's a experienced coach over there that has had a lot of good defenses in his years that is fuming a little bit with a 3-touchdown lead.
And he's got his first team defenders in there with the playoffs next week in a game that really means nothing except for the won and loss. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It
No,
just
yeah.
really means nothing. Freeman, he's going to take another shot. Thomas is there. He's got it again. Holding off his defender, and he's got another catch as he caught that on Artrell Andrews.
I mean, why not? Why not? Why not? Why not keep going after it?
Big gain there. Did you get the calculation on that?
I've had it for 30, 31, 17, 31.
100, so what, 160?
Right? And Freeman is now over 300 yards passing.
So first down and 10, 3:54. Freeman and Thomas putting on a show. Freeman on the run, still looking. He'll run it now. He'll gain 2 or 3. Smart probably not to throw that one.
I think Thomas was back in the corner of the end zone, and he wanted to for half a second. He thought about it throwing to that corner. But, hey, save it for another time. And, that's a smart play. Even in a situation where you more or less have nothing to lose and you've completed deep passes, you could have thrown that up. Could have just tried to make a play. But they're still out here trying to score points and win a football game.
I like
making
the
smart
coach
decisions.
being aggressive. I like Hueytown having the first team in there. I like Freeman still in there, mixing in young players, and let's play the football game because we still have 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go, and let's play. I like the attitude.
And they're playing.
James Thompson coaching for more than this year, obviously. 2nd down and 8. Freeman trying to escape. Eyes are down now, and he's got a handful of jerseys still on his feet. He's like Stretcho or something. You can't get him down, and you can see how worn out the Hueytown defenders are. Xander Scott's very slow to get up.
They said, do we really have to keep chasing this guy?
This guy is slippery. And we got a holding against Hueytown.
Holding. Hueytown.
So that'll give the Indians a little yardage. And they'll mark it from the 15. Wow, big penalty.
Should be half the distance to the 7.5.
7.5, 2nd down and about a foot. This is maybe where you take a shot, right?
2nd and short.
Just taking it around in. It's not a bad play with that guy. Flag down. He scores, but I think we're going to have a hold, and that'll be coming back.
Around. Left end.
It is a hold against Pinson Valley.
Pinson Valley.
Yeah, they've been cleaner in the 2nd half, certainly with the penalties, but their two have been unsportsmanlike conduct and holding. Not those little false starts and 5-yard penalties that were just adding up in the first half. I think you get an earful from the coach in the locker room about those small penalties can fix that, just a little bit of discipline. But that's again, that kind of summarizes it. I don't think that touchdown would be the difference in them coming back or not, but a big play by Freeman getting in the end zone and coming back for a penalty summarizes some of their offensive issues tonight.
2nd down. Freeman rolling right. Feels like he's got one-on-one coverage and is picked off. Flag down, but it might be offensive pass interference. Going all the way down the field is Amari Davis. Nobody is going to catch AD, and that'll be 4-yard touchdown return, depending on what they call down here. Could be offensive or defensive pass interference.
On the play.
I got a feeling they're going to call offensive pass interference.
I think it was defensive pass interference before the ball got to them. But I think he threw the flag a little early. I think if you let that play out, they are calling it on defense.
Okay. And everybody's kind of worn out now. Pinson Valley's bending over at the waist and grabbing air wherever they can. It is pass interference, Hueytown.
And for our history book people, Alabama High School Athletic Association does not count end zone yardage. Everything would be 99 yards.
Oh, okay. But in reality, he was 3 or 4 yards. Oh, easy.
He backs into him, but he's playing the ball. So I'm a little surprised at the call. That's why I think
we didn't see what happened before.
I think the flag gets thrown because of the contact before the ball actually gets there.
That would have been a nice play for the highlights. It doesn't count though.
I think
we can still use it in a promo if we need.
We've had a lot of plays tonight that we might be able to use in a promo.
If we need
highlight
it, we
reel,
got it.
play of the
Nobody needs
week.
to know. That's
2nd
right.
and 2.
All right, so we've been down here for like a half an hour inside the 10. 2nd down and goal, I think, right? Or just inside the 10 at the 9. And we'll try it again. As Pinson Valley desperately, if they score again, they're over 40. for the highest output of the season.
And if they score again, they got an opportunity for another onside kick.
Yes, exactly right.
With the way this game has gone, I'm not putting anything past anybody.
Is that Waldrop on the end around? Touchdown. Waldrop with the touch pass from
number 2, Alvin right in.
That'll get a 9-yard touchdown. 57-42.
It's
99 points total in this
192 passing yards for Freeman in the second half alone. 2 touchdown passes. That's 5 touchdown passes in the game. 326 passing yards. I mean, you're not going to set any records for a game like this because you're playing on a field that Bo Nix played on.
Right.
But still a very impressive night for Mr.
Bo Nix
Freeman.
would be proud of that night. Freeman is just going to run around left end, use his speed, and he is drug out of bounds, just slung out of there.
Scott, I know you wanted that one. You wanted 100 points. I felt it.
I wanted 100 points for sure. Hey, the way this game's going, we're not near done.
235. That's enough for 4 more touchdowns. Let's see what can happen.
99 total points is 57-42.
Now the highest scoring game earlier this year happened in AHSA history, and that finished 80-78. We might fall a little short of 158 total points. We'll need a few overtimes, but
still been a wildly entertaining game for our last.
And we're sitting here, it's a 2-touchdown game, which is not, again, you don't spot Hueytown a 21-0 lead. Could be a different feeling.
Another onside kick, and they'll just fall on it. About 4 Gophers will burrow their way into the turf to make sure that nobody touches that football this time.
I think you might see Allington come out here and run this thing, get a first down or 2 and finish this off.
Yeah.
I think Patterson might be done.
I think he's
messing around. He just wants to get out of here at this point.
Fans don't look terribly thrilled, but I've been thoroughly enjoying this game, right? They're kind of checked out right now with the score, but man, 99 points. It's pretty good.
It's been a fun way for us to cap the season.
Powell hands to Ellis inside, and he'll bang his way for 5 yards to the 41.
Number 22 on the carry, Hueytown. Play picks up 5 yards.
Second down and 5.
Stands up, second down.
We'll be at under 2 when this ball is snapped.
Coach Thompson's close to the official on his sideline, I think, talking about the timeout situation, figuring out when they want to call it, if they get a stop. Do you still slow down the clock? I mean, at this point, yes, right? You're down 2 touchdowns. You already got 1 onside kick. I think you force Hueytown to get the first downs and ice this thing.
Handoff Ellis. Guy shot in, and he got nothing. He may have lost a half a yard as some guys shot in for Pinson Valley from that secondary and the linebacker position.
I think some coaches on the sideline were looking for Thompson to call a timeout. He didn't force one there. I think he still has 2 in his pocket. I'm surprised one wasn't called on that down.
Third down on the clock, under a minute to go here.
I think you might see one from Hueytown.
And now,
timeout, Pinson Valley.
Pinson Valley calls a timeout after letting a lot of it run off the clock. So I'm not sure I get that, but
I think the timeout was Hueytown. I think the timeout was Hueytown. They announced it wrong.
That would make more sense.
It would make more sense.
So wildly entertaining game. We've had 2 kick returns. We've had an interception return for a touchdown. We've even had a interception go 100+ yards technically that got called back. We got a quarterback for over 300 yards. We got guys with multiple touchdowns. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah, keeping up with stats this game has been a challenge. My hand is this is cramping, got ink all over it.
And he's doing this all longhand, folks. He's not punching it into a computer.
It's how I learned. I can't help it. This is
no,
just,
I think it's great.
Just what happens.
I think it's great.
Now, if someone else were to look at this page and say, what is going on with these numbers, the order to them, the random lines, that might not make much sense, but it's how I've done it for years. So
3rd down and 5. They'll go throw it. They throw it out to Robinson. He's still on his horse going down the sideline, and they drag him down finally as he'll get close to 30 yards, right at 30 on that reception. So the big plays continue.
Yeah, and that's feels fitting for. I know Pinson Valley has done a lot of good in this second half and cutting into lead, really just staying in it, and the offense doing good, enough to be respectable on the scoreboard. But Hueytown having a play like that in a 3rd down moment where they need to ice the game, have control of it, picking up 30 yards, that feels like a more fitting way for this game to end.
And I think that'll do it. They will not have to run any more plays as the clock whittles down. Hueytown will win this one tonight, 57-42. 99 total points in this game. And Hueytown certainly didn't expect that offensive explosion from Pinson Valley, but they will end the season 7-3 on the year. Pinson Valley falls to 1-9, but they got better. That sounds like a cliche, but this team truly got better as the year progressed.
Yeah, and this is a team and a program that you trust to say, hey, when spring rolls around, you're going to be in great shape, and you're expected to make the playoffs out of their region next year. So I think what we've seen is enough. And you talked about the struggles and coming in late as a head coach and trying to get your program ready and your team and your system in there. That's tough to do with the amount of time they had. But then back to Hueytown. It's a team that started the season 2-3, finished the regular season on a 5-game winning streak. That's what happened the past 2 years. The past 2 years, they started 1-3 and finished the regular season on a 6-game winning streak. So this isn't new territory for them. They have momentum going into the playoffs.
All right, let's go down to Chris with the winning coach, Greg Patterson. Chris.
All right, guys, we're on the field with the winning coach. Coach, pretty convincing win here.
Yes, sir. Like I told you at halftime, we got some stuff we got to clean up, even with our young kids in the second half right there. Never going to take a win away from my guys. We're proud and happy of that. Got to go to get to work for the first round.
A lot of your kids, I heard them on the sideline, they player of the week, excited, some other accolades, but obviously you've got to prepare for the next game.
Absolutely, yeah. We got a pretty good opponent with Percy Julian. I've watched a little bit of film on them today, actually, just to look at them. They're super talented and athletic, so we got our work cut out for us.
All right, Coach, I'll let you get back to your team, but from Jeff Coed TV, congratulations and good luck in the playoffs.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Scott, back to you.
So for this entire amazing crew and all you folks, we appreciate you watching Jeff Coed TV. The final again of our last game of the regular season, 57 Hueytown, 42 Pinson Valley. You've been watching the Jeff Coed TV Game of the Week. So long, everybody.